Well, happy Easter to all. Most of you know that I met with my family last weekend to celebrate Easter and got all of my other Easter stuff out of the way early. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be busy today, but for those of you that already have met with your families or done whatever you do on Easter, or for those of you that aren't celebrating, you're here to make up for the fact that I didn't stream Friday, and we've got something special for you. You see, a very cocky, a very inexperienced, cocky individual has appeared out of nowhere, and they say that the real trad pimps are over here. So let's hear their argument and absolutely destroy it with facts and logic right now. He definitely has, Alex. He has. Starting this week, we'll be rolling in the beginning of streams a lot quicker, just so you know. So here we go. This fast, this good. From Nina the Defender, this person wants to make an argument. You know what? We'll start here. A condescending, quote, vocabulary lesson for what they call the YouTube red light district, implying that we're all hooksters. Oh, the irony. Oh, the ever-loving irony. When you deal with people like this, are they going to be honest or are they going to be dishonest? Well, let me give you a few ways to tell before we get started. Are they going to apply the same criticisms to Molly and her criticizers? Are they going to be fair with what they say, honest about what the criticizers have said and done, honest about their content? Or are they going to lie about the content that criticizes Molly and ignore the things that Molly's done to create a narrative? They get to make up their mind. They get to be the ones to determine this, not us. I will give them the respect of honestly listening to what they're saying and responding. Maybe they'll make a good argument. Thank you, Ellen. Maybe they won't. So let's go. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you're new here. Ring the bell. And over on UNIRocktv, do the same thing. UNIRocktv is where the main content goes. These longer live streams are used to make that content. Also, we have a giant accusation of a scam on YouTube involving some of the biggest creators that we're going to be covering this week. And several other tragedy VMs are going to be looked at. Not just these tragedy pimps. We've got even more of them popping up out of the woodwork, seemingly maybe wanting to try to steal Molly's subs and take her place. We'll find out. We'll see. Molly and Betty have made sure to set up kick.com accounts. Kick is a live stream competitor, kick.com, to YouTube and Twitch. Now, I, for the first time today, instead of streaming to Twitter, I've had a Kick account since Kick started. It's kick.com/UNIRock. Thank you, Ellen. We are live over there. Can I get Cherie or any of my mods that have a Kick account to please type in chat so that I can mod them? I'd like to have some mods over on Kick. And again, make sure if you have a Kick account to follow us at kick.com/UNIRock. I was here before Molly, so why am I just now sending my signal there? Restream is what I use to be able to send my stream to YouTube and to Twitter at the same time. And Restream just added Kick within the last couple days as an option. Thank you, Cherie. Cherie, do you mind typing over there in that chat for me right here? Just so I can have a moderator. Be nice. I'll be cleaning up the Kick front page and making it look good. And also, I will be rebranding and cleaning up the branding on both channels going into this week, just so you know. Let's get started. Right over here, let's go ahead and start with this one. And it's a vocabulary lesson for the red light district. This is a new creator. So under the fair use article in the description, which gives me the ability to transform this content into a different kind of content through the fair use law, I can react to this. I will go ahead and warn you now, regardless if you are a clip channel or if I'm reacting to your upload, the videos that you contain in your video also hold a copyright claim when you are a clip channel. So if you want me to react by pausing every couple minutes, the people that own the copyright to the clips in your clip video could still strike me. It doesn't work where you just have this overarching copyright to your clip video unless it can be argued to be fully transformative. That determination is up to YouTube Legal and the law. So to be safe, I will be pausing what I react to a lot. It's just something I have to do to protect myself. I know what I'm doing. I've been here a long time. If I could do it differently, I would. I would. You have to understand that I can't open myself up to give them the ability to come in and try to take down my channel inappropriately. I have to protect myself. So if anyone has an issue, my channel, the ability to talk to me is open. I encourage it. I'm not going to go into drama fights or argue with people in the community. I think that's counterproductive. But what I will do is offer you the ability to talk to me, the ability to come on my show, and the ability for us to hash out our differences and understand each other and come to compromises, okay? So just for those of you that that applies to, understand, I don't care if you don't like me now or if you're mad at me. I still support the people that I support because I support them for a reason, and I have that. What's going on is not going to invalidate my support. I will not feed drama. I will not feed the destruction of our community. I will not fall into the errors that these other people have made, Molly and them, okay? We are all people with emotions, and I respect that. Hopefully, by these people seeing that I'm going to respect them even when they're mad at me or for something, I don't even know what, but anyway, until I talk to them and then I'll know. At least that shows them I'm giving them a respect even though they are mad. So let's get started. At first, it says this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Opinions expressed are solely from this creator, identified as the advocate. Horrible name for you. Subject matter falls under the fair use laws, notwithstanding section 106 and 106A, the fair use of copyrighted work reserved on original creator content. Use letter in any form or content, video, voice, and or text with written permission only. We don't need written permission from you to react to your video if our reaction is fair use. We don't need it. So just so you understand, if you act like you understand fair use, then you would understand that I can react to your video. Here we go.
I wanted to drop a quick video and address a couple of things real quick. While I am here, I also wanted to take a moment to say thank you for the warm welcome to the wild, wild world of YouTube. It's an interesting platform that has many, many layers, and I'm still learning the ins and outs.
You're going to be learning the ins and outs for years if you're going to take YouTube even partially seriously. Just a bit of advice from someone that's been here for a really long time.
I think the most surprising aspect is the expectation that viewers would grasp that my channel is editorial and or commentary, and it is infused with some emotion-led sarcasm, but all of it is vetted.
It's vetted. Well, here's how vetting works. We'll be able to tell by what you say and what you show whether you've vetted. Vetting is not a promise, it's an action.
I've come to accept the fact that some people just don't get that, and they probably never will.
Why wouldn't they? Pretty simple. You talking about a very small minority of people? Okay, I agree.
However, I do stand by my content and the freedom to voice it.
Yeah, you've got the freedom to voice it. I've got the freedom to react to it and commentate on it, either agree or disagree, maybe correct you if you say something that's incorrect, maybe expose parts of where you're being hypocritical or lying or whatever. And by the same exact right that gives you the ability to be able to do your content, I have the same exact right to do what I'm doing. The same rules that allow you to do what you do makes it allowed for me to do this.
Though some of the red light district proprietors of YouTube don't seem to agree.
Why can't you name who they are? Because I don't believe you. I don't know who you are trying to consider as red light proprietors of YouTube, red light proprietors, when if you did understand the definition of what a red light or red light district denotates, then you would understand that it implies some sort of back alley service, usually sexual in nature, that uses a red light to identify what they're doing as to be able to signal open for business so that the police just see a red light. They don't see a sign that says come in to get happy time.
They react rather than respond in bullish ways. You know,
Who has done this? Because again, I've not seen anybody react to your video. You're making claims. You're saying that something's happening, but you haven't shown an example. And now you're up into the third thing that you're trying to claim has happened without even grabbing a clip to show this happening to you and prove that it's happening to you. A bit of advice is when you just make a claim on the internet, people are not going to believe. They're not going to believe you because it's so easy to lie, and lying is so prevalent on the platform. So you could communicate your points better by showing actual proof of what you're stating. You have the fair use to do it, the capability to do it. Yes, it's time consuming, but again, commentary, video editing, and preparing these videos takes work if you do it correctly.
It's not cool to boot viewers from chat rooms and post mean comments or send nasty emails just because there are differing views or opinions.
Yeah, but again, where has that happened? Where has that happened? Because most people never boot people for criticism or a differing opinion in our community. Most people don't ignore people that send a critical email. They ignore disrespectful people, people that are being mean or nasty, threatening things. And what some people like to do is claim they're being bullied or claim that people are doing this to them, when if you read what was sent to them, it ends up being normal criticism that they are just blanket labeling as a bad thing. And again, without you proving that this is happening to you by showing something, redacting anything you need to redact, showing what people have been saying to you, I don't believe it's happened.
The red light district video that I made caused a few waves for me, but I stand by every word.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to react to that next.
I still think Billy Joe is foolish to affiliate herself with any of those named channels or creators. Also, I must...
Yeah, I think anyone who affiliates themselves with a tragedy pimp, someone that exploits and lies or mixes large amounts of drama into the reporting of a tragic situation, a tragedy that happens to someone, a crime that involves bringing extreme tragedy to a family, shouldn't be ever given any type of credence whatsoever. And thus why the tragedy pimps should not be affiliated with anybody.
Clarify, just because a creator was named in the video does not mean that they are or have done all of the mentioned things. However, there is a very good reason or reasons they were all mentioned.
You see, this is what you should have said in the original video, because if you didn't, then it's appropriate for people to respond the way they responded to you. You have to take some personal responsibility if your original video didn't specify when you were doing that.
And for goodness sake, listen to the complete letter, or at least read the transcript, to make sure you comprehend correctly.
I don't know what you mean by that. I am sure people did watch the whole video.
Don't take things out of context or read more into them.
Take things out of context or read more into them. See, when you show evidence of what you're talking about, and when you explain it, then they can't, without lying, without being deceptive. If you leave room for them to say these things, then they're not necessarily being deceptive. Hey, Hope, thank you. They're not necessarily being deceptive in that instance, because they could be responding due to you not being specific, but either way.
Let me be clear. I am as far from a tragedy pimp as one can be.
Tragedy pimping is an action. So, we'll see if you're far from being a tragedy pimp or if you are one by what you say and do. But okay, let's see.
This is another phrase some of you fail to understand the meaning of. It's
fail to see the meaning of? Tragedy pimp? Who fails to see the meaning of a tragedy pimp? Tragedy pimp, at least the way that our community uses it, is a meme that talks about how these people pimp out tragedies in order to profit. The pimping is a meme, or is a metaphor to exploitation of the tragedy, or lying about the tragedy, being abusive, bullying, doxing, doing these things, even extreme drama, while discussing a tragedy. Well, let me give you a great example of tragedy pimping. Last night, I showed Laura covering a trial that involved a 12-year-old losing their life, and during that, she was mixing drama in about people whom she criticized and rating which one of them had the smallest thingy. That is extreme tragedy pimping. It's inappropriate to mix those things together when you're baiting people into your channel by claiming you're covering this trial.
Looking more and more like there are some who didn't do so well in the vocabulary portion of language arts in school.
No, because we're not using the tragedy pimping word to the definition of the Oxford Dictionary. I don't even think it's in the Oxford Dictionary. It's a slang. It is a meme. Someone who tries to take a meme and strip all of the community context, the joke context, and the metaphoric context from the meme would be the one who doesn't understand language and must have not done well in school when it comes to the one that's not understanding what sarcasm, joking, metaphor, and other kinds of internet memes that are used. If you can't admit it's a meme, and then you try to pretend that you need to apply it to its direct definition, you're the one being disingenuous, not those using the meme.
So, according to the good old dictionary, and let's just take a moment to have a lesson here. If you've got yours, flip on over to the T's, and let's look up the word tragedy.
Okay.
Tragedy is defined as an event causing great suffering, destruction, and distress, such as a serious accident, crime, or natural catastrophe.
Yeah, you see the crime right there? You see how all of these things apply? It wouldn't mean every crime is a tragedy-based crime. It would mean the most extreme crimes are tragedy-based crimes. And it's an arguable type of thing. Which crimes or which events can be put under the slang umbrella of tragedy pimp when being exploited.
Now, that's true enough. And this is the true crime community of YouTube. And we cover, we study, we work, and follow tragic events. That's what we do over here in true crime.
Exactly. So when you're doing true crime and you're covering a very tragic story and you dox, threaten, lie, run scams, exploit, or do other dishonest things to try and get more views while doing it, you are tragedy pimping.
And sometimes it's helpful. And sometimes it's literally just venting and it's just digging through things or trying to make sense of them. But that's what it is. So that right there, we know what a tragedy is, right? Okay.
I think that we all knew before you wasted our time, but go ahead.
Now, take your dictionary. Another lesson here. Let's flip on over to the P's, okay? We're going to look up the word pimp. Now, that is spelled P-I-M-P. Pimp.
Yeah, you're being extremely condescending as if you're smarter than everybody else with this. But you're so elementary in how you're acting as if we aren't using it in a slang fashion. It's just you really don't understand the application of words, the application of the concepts that the words represent. You don't understand slang in comparison to words that are spoken maybe under oath, or slang compared to words that are more regionless, if you will, in the slang that they're encompassing. I think that if it shows a very, very huge misunderstanding of not only comedy and satire and slang, but even more of a misunderstanding of the internet itself for you to even be trying to now, if you were going to reference an appropriate dictionary, you could reference the slang dictionary, which I will in just a moment after you finish this little clip. And I will show you how there are dictionaries out there that seek to show the slang for the internet vernacular, the internet slang for words, and they have a completely different definition and context than the words used in an official or non-slang, or maybe you could say academic capacity. So first off, you are presenting a fallacy. This argument is fallacious, at least to this point. Maybe you're going to provide some additional context, go into the slang aspect of it after this, and I'll say maybe then by watching it that you're not. But if you don't, I'm sorry, but you're already, and I'm going to ask the audience, as we watch in the next minute or so, I want the audience to tell me in the live chat which fallacy you believe this person is violating. Is it a non sequitur? Is it a red herring? Is it them just straight lying, right? What kind of fallacious argument are we listening to? Why in the world do I have another yell? Did they basically make Molly demonetized every time you talk about her now because she got banned? Because I'm starting to think that's what's happening here. But anyway, let me submit it for review. There we go. Y'all are going to have to hit the like button, share the video, interact with the video a lot until YouTube reviews the video and puts me back to green so that the majority of the peeps will come in. But let's keep moving. I'll do a community post in a minute too.
All right. Let's look closely here. A pimp is someone. It does say man here, but we're going to say someone because it could be anyone.
Yes, it could be a man or a woman. So at least you're willing to admit parts of the argument that I just made by acknowledging that these definitions won't even really apply. If everybody who comes to this channel knows that our definition, or that our we are live but yellow signed, so you may need to find us yourself to join the stream. At least, you know, you're starting to show that. What I was saying was, let's say that on this stream, YouTube demonetizes the word carrot. So everybody knows that when I say the word carrot, instead of carrot, I'm going to say the word computer mouse. It would be like you showing the definition for computer mouse instead of the definition for carrot, knowing that we have to do that due to YouTube's rules, if you get me. But just to add some color to your Easter egg basket, says Booty Shorts. Thank you, Booty, because you just donoed to me, so that reminds me that I need to share my pay links in the chat. so that I can hopefully make a few bucks from this stream. So if you want to support me, there's my links. Booty, thank you for the support. And let's keep moving.
Anyone, it could be a man or a woman, who controls prostitutes and arranges clients for them, taking part of their earnings in return.
Yes, but you're using it as a noun. Are you going to show the definition of pimp as a verb? Because if you did, it might fall more under the... We're using tragedy pimping to describe an action. Now, someone who claims to have finished college in such a advanced way in the understanding of words and language wouldn't put the definition of pimp as a noun on the screen, knowing that the people you're responding to are using the definition of pimp as a verb, as an action that these people are committing. Very much already, this video is sinking fast. It's showing a very middle school almost understanding of words and verbs and slang. But seeing as how we're only 4.5 minutes in, I will go ahead, thank you Barbie, and hear you out before I make my mind up.
Need I say more?
Yes, you do. You need to explain why you're showing the definition of the noun when we're using it as a descriptor, as a verb. It's so disingenuous. I mean, it's almost like you don't understand the difference between a noun and a verb, or slang for that matter. And you've got this condescending, almost, you know, big-headed kind of I'm smarter than you attitude in the way that you're speaking and presenting information here while failing this hard. This is getting uber cringy. Then again, let's see if she, you know, fixes her mistake.
Billy Joe is and has been nothing but a show pony, a marionette that you, red light district proprietors, are the puppet masters of. You pose her and you dance her around from channel to channel, panel to panel. And here's the deal, because
how in the world are the creators doing that to Billy Joe? Do they have a gun to her head? Wouldn't Billy Joe bear the... I don't even know. Who's Billy Joe, by the way? Is she the one in the Quentin Simon case? Right? Now, you do realize that there's... It's the decision of Billy Joe whether she goes on panels. Now, I could understand you claiming if they lied to Billy Joe to get her to come on, that they may be trying to do what you're saying here. But, okay, thank you, guys. I thought it was. I just wanted to be sure. You know how it goes. There's a million things going on out there. I don't want to get, like, messed up, so I thought I'd ask you. Quentin's grandmother, exactly. Yeah, I would think that you need to comment toward Billy Joe on that instance. Now, again, I don't know what panel she's been going on. I think it might be worth looking at sometime. We might have to take a peek at it in the next few days. That might be a good topic to hit. Hey, I'll ask you guys. Let me put a poll up. Would you like us... Let's get some music running here. Would you like me, to look at Billy Joe's panel appearances? Yes or no? Let me know at the poll, and let's keep listening.
I've heard this from some of you. Oh, we've not made any money. I've not made hardly any money. I've not made a penny. This is the deal. And you accuse everybody else of making, you know, bank, which is laughable. But here's the deal.
Who is she talking to? Who is she saying accuses other people of making bank?
Because you are the ones that continually pull her up on these panels or these channels. I mean, I don't see anybody else doing that. It's you red light folks. You.
Okay, so, okay. Again, if Billy wants to go on a panel, then yes, I think you can look at what the people on the panel say and do. And I think you also can look at the appearance on the panel and how Billy Joe conducts herself or whatever. But at the same time, who cares if they're monetized and they make money from what they're doing? That's not the issue. The issue would be if you're making money by lying, by exploitation, by doing something wrong, right? I'll use this, I'll use an example from my channel. People got mad at me when I mentioned a CPS call that happened in the community, gave my opinion to it, and responded to it. Now, would people that are that got mad at me for doing that be wrong or right here? They would be in the wrong. because I had been covering every time Molly doxed or did something else inappropriate using her YouTube channel. And that was part of that story. And I gave it the same attention that I would give any other instance there. So no, I wasn't grabbing something outside the wheelhouse of what we were covering to make money or to get on a bandwagon or whatever in the world the accusation was. If someone's going to publicly put out that it happened on their channel, they can't then go around and bully people that bring it up and give an opinion. They could go around and criticize people if they think that they were wrong in their take on presenting it at that point. But it would be the fault of the person who put it out that other people are mentioning it, not the fault of the creators that mention it. Anyway, good comparison.
You are keeping her right there in your headlines. And I don't care if you made a penny or $1 million. You are still pimping this woman out because of her.
No. Again, the pimping is the reason we use pimping. If you would have applied the verb, the slang of how we are using the word pimping to describe this, it's only pimping if they're exploiting. Billy is a person with free speech. The people that are on YouTube have that ability too. They're allowed to get up there and bring people on to talk about subjects that are going on without it being tragedy pimping. Again, the verb being pimping, the verb, an action that they're doing by exploiting Billy Joe, by lying about what's going on with her, by doing some other scummy thing while interviewing or discussing things with Billy Joe. Then you could say that they would be tragedy pimping Billy Joe. But just by them having her on and talking to her does not denote tragedy pimping. You know this. I don't think you're so dumb. I'm going to be nice and not think that you're this dumb that you don't know how verbs work, slang works, and how you don't know that the point of tragedy pimping is that the pimps exploit the thing that they're pimping in illegal, inappropriate, scummy ways in order to make an inappropriate amount of money that they shouldn't be making if they would have done it the right way. That's what a tragedy pimp is. Is that what they're doing to Billy Joe? I don't know. You'd have to bring up the specific instance, what happened when she went on, what they did to exploit, what they did wrong. See, these are things that we've done when we cover someone tragedy pimping. We actually do all of that. So I don't know, maybe your original video has that in it. We'll have to wait and see.
Her tragic situation. And you are taking from her, now, as the definition says, taking part of their earnings in return. Now, perhaps you aren't taking anything from her bank or from her pocket.
What are you talking about, her earnings in return? The earnings are for the show. Whatever the show, okay, let's use my show and let's pretend I had Billy Joe on. I didn't exploit her. I talked to her like a human being, talked about how she felt about certain subjects, let her know how I felt about subjects, had content with her, and ended it. I wouldn't be tragedy pimping. I wouldn't have done something wrong. I wouldn't have done something inappropriate, right? And I would have made money off of the fact that I've been running a show for 8 years, almost daily, having an audience that comes to watch the content that I find or the underlying reason that I show the content and the point that I'm making with the content. The point that I'm making is the content. The show expressing the point that I'm making is the content. It doesn't matter if it's Billy Joe. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to Molly. It doesn't matter if I'm showing what Molly did. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about the fraud raiser from Letitia or the 16 fraud raisers before. The show is the thing that's monetized. People aren't donating because of that topic, or else they would go around donating to everybody that would talk about that topic. They're donating because they agree with the non-clickbaiting, non-exploiting way and the work that was done to prep the topic, bring it in, fact check, then present an opinion that they're not going to get from going over to other channels. They're not going to get, maybe they'll get the same opinion if people agree, but they're not going to get the whole production, the whole fact checking, all the time put in, all of the practice, all of the expertise that goes into being able to do it quickly and daily. That is what makes the money from the show. So again, fail after fail after fail here so far, but let's give her time because she may actually, you know.
Or anything of monetary value, however you are.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do on my Easter Sunday? Go live and discuss someone who isn't even on YouTube any. What are you talking about? I'm reacting to a video that's on YouTube right now, like right this minute. Tell me what is right now hypocrisy at its finest. Maybe go hang with your family. No, you see, because my family lives out of town. I don't live in the same town that they do, even though people will think I do and try to dox people in that town all the time. We've already met last Sunday, to do all of the family stuff. We did. And this morning, I went to church and met with other family members before they left to go to meet other sides of their family. I've been advertising that I was going to do this on Sunday for over a week, and I took off last Sunday to celebrate my Easter with my family. So tell me how you're not a hypocrite for assuming these things about me. How you're not the hypocrite and the liar for coming in and just blasting these lies and falsehoods in my chat without even maybe asking or maybe even inquiring to this. Yeah, it seems like you. Now let's see if you're actually a good person or not, because you're pretending that you're this moral good person who's doing the right thing and I'm not doing the right thing. Okay, we'll see if you're really the good person or not. Do you want to apologize now and explain whether your little theory still applies knowing that? So also, I made sure people knew that factually happened, because I did update people in Discord when I was seeing my family last week. And I did, talk to people while I was in between driving places and stuff like that on the phone. So I'm not making that up. I've been stating this for weeks now. So let's see if you're going to apologize. Let me know, chat, when they apologize, and let me know that they're sorry, okay?
Taking something from her. You're taking part of her.
Because, man, think about somebody who wants to go in and lie on someone on Easter just because they believe the lies other people have told them about that person. Wow, that's extremely hypocritical.
Yes, you are. What are you taking? Let me tell you. You are taking from her dignity. You are taking from her.
Whoa, whose dignity?
In return. Now, perhaps you aren't taking anything from her bank or from her pocket or anything of monetary value. However, you are taking something from her. You're taking part of her. Yes, you are.
So, hold on a minute. You're acting like Billy. You are a very nasty person, whoever you are, because everything you're doing takes away the fact that Billy Joe is her own adult person who can make her own decisions, who can decide where she wants to go and how she wants to do things. And yes, I'll criticize Billy Joe if she does something valid of criticism. But based on what you've shown and said up to this point, it would have been your burden to show Billy Joe exploiting or doing something wrong, and you didn't. You're stating that just because Billy decides to go on panels and talk so that she can address and push back against the tragedy, pimping, and lies that have constantly been spread in the pursuit of making lots of money through exploiting Quentin's passing by the other creators that have done this to her, you're going to say that she is somehow. Well, how in the world then is it not wrong for the people who talked about Billy Joe, talked about Quentin Simon, went around and tried to go yell at her house and do all this? They would have to be the most worst and massive, bad, hypocritical people on the freaking planet by your definition of how you're judging Billy Joe. Okay, most of you do not want me to look into Billy Joe going on panels, so I won't. Thank you for voting and letting me know, okay? Thank you.
What are you taking? Let me tell you. You are taking from her dignity.
No, that would be Billy Joe. It would be whoever's fault it is that Billy Joe is showing up. If they lied to Billy Joe to get Billy Joe to come on, they could be, I guess, taking her dignity that way. Well, they wouldn't be unless Billy Joe did something. Billy Joe, even if she got tricked into going on a panel, if she held her own, if she gave her own opinion, if she made sure not to relent, if she made sure to explain herself, if she didn't yell and scream and act like a fool, she wouldn't be giving up her dignity. How in the world does Billy Joe going on a YouTube channel take away dignity? Well, that would mean that you uploading this took away your dignity. It would mean that the people that talked about Billy Joe have no dignity. Even worse than Billy Joe, because Billy Joe would be someone appearing on a channel, and the people doing this type of content would be literally profiting off of it to live. So their dignity would be like negative 10 billion compared to Billy Joe, who wouldn't even have a hit to dignity. But that's just because this is a horrible commentary video. Someone that's not intelligent enough and spent enough time studying the subjects at hand, logically thinking about what it means to appear on a channel or to give an opinion somewhere, and someone who's assumed a lot of things and at the same time believe that they're the smart one in the room doing it. Cringy, baby, cringy.
You are taking from her need to grieve, privately.
No. How do you know she hasn't grieved privately? Again, how do you know she hasn't grieved privately? She's had a lot of time to grieve privately. You making this video, let's see, December 2nd, 2022. You making this video doesn't, unless maybe Billy Joe hadn't had time to grieve when she showed up, which she did because they looked for him for like a really long time. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand.
And you are taking advantage of the fact that she is fragile and vulnerable right now.
How? You're just saying things. You're just making a claim. You're not even explaining how.
Taking these things from her. And what you are doing to her will cost her more than she realizes now.
Okay, I hope you're going to explain how it's going to cost her that and why.
All the while, you are profiting.
You didn't. You didn't. For one, clickbait is not having someone on your show. Clickbait is lying about what is in your video intentionally, and those lies being specific lies that will pull people into the video, and then those people come in and they don't experience what they were brought in to see. That's what clickbaiting is. Clickbaiting is not doing a video and having on a guest who just experienced a tragedy. That's not clickbait. Again, very unintelligent, very bad commentary, but anyway.
And clout, clicks, views, ad revenue, and Cash App donations. Again, doesn't matter if it's a penny or $1 million. You're banking off of her. And so
no, you're not. You're banking off of your show. If their show has only talked about her, constantly talks about every facet of her, then possibly, I'm not even saying you can make the argument then, it would depend on how they're doing the content, but it could be argued then if you gave examples and actually showed proof to what you're saying. But just having her on does not do this, or else the news would be clickbait. Somebody giving a truthful title on a truthful thing that they do, now all of a sudden is clickbait. When you are too incompetent to be able to understand the words that you're using. Now, again, you could be looking up clickbait in the dictionary. I mean, earlier you used the dictionary Oxford to look up the definition. So maybe you think clickbait is what you do when you go fishing and you click a button on your fishing rod so you throw the bait out to be hit by the fish. And that's why maybe you think it's clickbait. But that's not happening, so I doubt it. You see, clickbait, I just explained the definition. Again, you're not using the correct definitions, just like, and that's funny because that's what your entire video is based on. Your entire video opens talking about how others aren't using the right definitions.
Some way, shape, or form. You are not her friends, because true friends would never have allowed this exploitation to occur.
Well, again, she wasn't exploited based on what you said. So if exploitation occurred, you haven't proven it. But she going on someone's YouTube panel is not someone becoming someone's friend. Becoming someone's friend, do you actually believe that you can be friends just by appearing on a panel? Unless you were going to actually have long conversations, get to know each other, and spend a lot of time together doing it, you could be a friend with someone. I think me and Navy, who were friends before he came on my show, our friendship, I think, definitely has, grown a lot since he's been coming on my show. But that's because of whether we're doing it on the show or off the air. That would have happened through what we're doing when we're doing the show. But it doesn't mean that Billy Joe is someone's friend just because she went on a panel. Wow, are you bad at this?
It baffles me because there are
it would baffle you. I think stupid people are baffled by normal things all the time.
Times that I've listened to certain ones of you, and there's one in particular, and
say their name. You're saying Billy Joe's name. You're throwing around a lot of accusations. Why can't you say the name? Because that's really scummy. I think that might even be scummier than what you did earlier.
Some of the things that you share blow my mind, because I'm thinking, wow, these things will be used against her or her daughter or some.
Things that the mother says cannot be used against the daughter unless, because it would, see, you don't understand true crime because there's a thing called hearsay. There's a thing that people do called lying. It's why, even if you hear somebody say something, it's not enough to just to have somebody arrested. It takes a lot of evidence, investigation. That's why it takes so much time, so much college education. I mean, it kind of does make sense why you think all the things you think now hearing you talk.
Someone in the court of law. It could even prohibit her or infringe on her ability to get those children or see her grandchildren again. So
that would depend on what she talked about. And again, that has nothing to do with the people bringing her on the panel unless those people specifically asked her to talk about that.
Some of the things you're saying, I just can't believe it. And then there are those times.
Yeah, you're baffled again, aren't you?
You let her say just so much, and then you're like, oh, don't forget, you're on a live. But by then, it's pretty much too late. You're not her friend. A friend wouldn't do this. A true friend wouldn't do this.
Okay, so I think we've got enough of this video. I think it gives you a little bit of a basis leading in to, well, let's keep going because I think she has some more things to say, but...
Using her.
It sounds like Goose, really? I don't know Goose's voice.
And, you want people to think that, you stopped what you call exploitation. But really, what you did was you just found a way to exploit her all on your own. And
again, you're just, like, here's what you're doing, okay? Are you ready? Because I'm going to show you what you're doing. This happened. And this happened. And these people are bad people because that happened. And then this happened, and it makes them really bad. And then they did this, and that makes them really bad. But here's the issue. Who the hell are you talking about? Also, where's the proof they did this? It's not here. No impact. No lasting impact from this video in any way, shape, or form.
And it is disgusting.
Really? This is about Cher from Voices Behind the Wall. Oh, okay. She heavily implied that she and BJ were becoming close. Sure. But that's the thing. We don't know if... you may know. You may be able to tell me. Did they talk off the air and become close? Or was it what they did on the air that made them close? And again, that would matter to what she was judging on. Not that I care. It matters in the context of what she judged on, right? I'm not defending Billy Joe or Cher, whoever the Cher person is. I'm not defending them. I'm responding to this video for a specific reason. I'll show you in just a minute. And we still want to look at one other video, and I'm going to skip through that one to show you what's going on there.
You have added irreparable damage to this already horrific tragedy that this family will never recover from.
Okay, how did Billy Joe not do that? Saying that, again, if this person knew that Billy Joe was going to talk about these things that would do this and instigated it, or maybe didn't try to stop her when she started talking about this, because you just said that the person on the other side was constantly stopping Billy Joe and saying, hey, we're live, you don't want to talk about that, which I think would mean that the person that interviewed this other person was trying to stop Billy Joe from doing what you're accusing her of doing to Billy Joe. But then again, I haven't seen the video, something that you, instead of just putting pictures, how are you not exploiting through what you're doing? How are you not trying to pull an emotional hit here by showing the baby, showing the pictures of the baby, showing people being upset? And I'm only saying that. I think people can do videos and show these things without it being exploitative. So if I'm using this person's logic to look at what this person's doing, then they would be exploitative. Are you feeling me? Because it shouldn't matter if I pull Billy Joe up on the panel and talk to Billy Joe directly, or if I'm, taking information from somewhere else about Billy Joe. It does, like if the information comes from Billy Joe here, or if it came from Billy Joe in an article, all of those things fit the same mold of gaining and using the information. You feel me? Okay, I'll keep going. I know I ramble.
Okay. Rant over. I don't want to always be on the defensive, but that's all that I have to say to the YouTube red light district proprietors and their supporters, at least for right now. So those...
Yeah, and you failed horribly. I don't know you. I'm not being mean to you. I'm not judging you. You're a small creator. You probably haven't done that this much. This is something that comes from practice. It's something that comes from, you know, actually putting time and effort into the scripts you write and then reading through them while making sure that your only concern is the message or point you're trying to carry through that script, and learning how to take away the things that don't matter or add the things that do. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell you it is. It's why you don't have a bunch of really good YouTubers out there. There's only a small amount of them, and there's a bunch of really small YouTubers that suck really bad. I mean, just as you think they would. You could work on this. You could get better. The problem I'm going to refer to is the attitude you have, where you think you are just correct in everything you're saying, as if you're just the end-all be-all. You're not making an argument. You're telling people how it is. And if you're going to tell people how it is, you definitely need to show evidence to back up the things you're claiming. Because if you were just making an argument and you didn't make claims and you gave just your points instead, this video might have been a lot better for you. But you deserve, just so you know, you deserve to have people remind you of how much you failed in this video because of the cocky attitude you had throughout the whole thing.
Those folks, you can go ahead and find your way out. Now, to those who have been supportive and encouraging, let me just say there's more to come, and it's not going to always be in this defensive
Definitely, Melody.
mode. I just had to get that off my chest.
You probably should have thought about it before you got it off your chest. I don't know if you're just trolling here.
So this is the deal. This is what I want to do here. I want to highlight cases and people from a different perspective through commentary response based on reported facts. I also want to hear from you all.
Yeah, but you can't just assume that the facts are facts. You need to reference the facts and what makes them facts compared to a claim. Shouldn't be up to your audience to do that every time. You could at the very least tell them where they could go to fact check what you're saying. That might help.
So hang in there with me as I carve out my own niche and space here. I have quite a bit of content being developed and worked on that covers other current cases, and some that I'd like to shine a light on that I don't feel really are getting the recognition or the attention that perhaps they need.
First thing you need to do is change the name of your channel, because what you're doing is not advocating for anyone. What you're doing is giving very pedestrian, non-thought-out opinions where you act as if you're right and everybody else is wrong. Very pretentious, very assumptive. Just so you know, I would call yourself Nina the fledgling or something until you actually get to a point where you can advocate through your commentary.
And one last thing.
That's Goose? Everybody is saying that this is Goose. Everybody is saying that this is Goose. It would make sense if it was Goose, because Goose is this dumb. And she's this cocky. I mean, I don't know Goose's voice, so I'm not using Goose's voice to say what I'm about to say. I'm going to use my experience hearing Goose talk and post things to say what I'm about to say. They talk and think just like Goose. They talk and think just like Goose. This is why Goose, because she thinks and talks like this, fails so hard every time she thinks and talks, just so you know. So it makes sense.
I've had some requests to go live, and I do plan on it soon. But I have a proposal for everyone. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers.
No. No. Especially not after a video like this. You should earn that 1,000 subs. And you should earn it through doing good content, good response, good commentary. Whether you will admit it or not, this is provably and factually horrible commentary. So, this is not the only video that we need to look at from this person, okay? This one, 2 days ago, is the main thing that we're going to look at, the public stoning of Molly Golightly. I wanted to handle the other one first, okay? Because this, actually, I need to pull up a little screenshot for you. Right here. So Molly decides to post an hour ago, where did this girl come from? And you notice she's linking to the video we just looked at, okay? So I wonder if this is Goose and this is Molly trying to play a quick little game with Goose. Make Goose a random other person. Maybe it's not Goose, but I'm just saying. And then Molly can go and this person will defend Molly. She can pretend as if she just stumbled upon it, share an older video so that people don't think she's sharing the Molly defense video from 2 days ago. Are you feeling me? Are you guys following me? She was the one screaming, claiming she talked to Letitia every day during the fraud raiser. I know, Daphne, yes. She also was the one that when I went and talked to Molly, promised me that she had the receipts to prove Letitia's innocence and that she was going to show them to me off the air because she couldn't show them on the air because they, didn't want to show it publicly in docs or share information. So because she was going to show me these receipts after we talked, when I came back to talk to Molly and them again, of course, I dropped the discussion of the fraud raiser because there's no sense in me grilling them on it being a fraud raiser if they are claiming that they have receipts to prove it's not a fraud raiser, right? And they knew that. That's why Goose lied. It's why Goose lied to me saying that she had receipts and that she would show them to me. Okay. Her ambiguous darkness, Goose is someone who allegedly does dirty work behind the scenes for Molly. She was going to provide receipts for the LB Marvon situation, but didn't and ran and hid. Exactly. She also is a pathological liar, a narcissist like Molly. She always thinks that she's right and everyone else is wrong, and she's an extreme hypocrite. She's a scammer, basically. So the first part of this, the public stoning of Molly Golightly, and this is a new video for those of you out there who are going to say, why are you reacting to this? It's new, is why. The hypocrisy is real. Well, yes, hypocrisy from the people defending Molly, and the backlash is gonna sting. And look, they want to work in a threat. They want to work in a threat. Nothing Molly or any of you have ever done has ever stung anyone. Y'all know this because all you do is use keyboard warrior, cowardly, doxing, and threatening tactics to threaten others and to try to get what you want. You're a coward. You are a ultimate bully, and you're too scared to actually even do those things up front like Molly would do sometimes before she turned cowardly and deleted the stuff and lied. So this just sets the complete stage for what we're going to see. Also, it says an open letter to the haters. Well, look, I'm here and I've gotten your letter. Since you call me a hater, I'm here with your letter. So I'm sure you're going to be happy that the hater actually responded to your stupid video. Oh, excuse me, stupid video. And just so you know, this is even worse than the one you just saw. I haven't seen a lot of it, but it's even worse than the one that you just saw. It is literally just amazing at how far these people will go. You have to keep asking yourself, are they aware? Jersey, thank you. Make sure you sub to my main channel, UNIRock too, but I appreciate you very much. You have to ask yourself, are these people doing this because they are dishonest? Or are they doing it as in they know what they're doing and they're doing it anyway so they can try to lie and help their friend? Or are they this dumb? Are they just lost? Are they just floating through life, never convicted, never fact-checking, never studying, never actually doing anything right or real? Are they failures or are they dishonest? I don't know. You'll have to ask yourself that as we go. I'm going to share in the chat my links to support me because I just asked you guys to subscribe. That's the main thing you can do is watch the videos and subscribe to support us. And you guys, we got 500 people watching every stream now. So you guys are supporting the living hell out of me. And thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. We usually get even more than this when we're streaming a lot, but we haven't been streaming a lot lately. That's okay. But just for those of you that really like the show and you want to see us just keep doing it and putting all the work we do into it, I'm sharing these links in the chat, okay? Hey, I didn't get a notification. I know it's because I got another yellow sign. A lot of people aren't getting notifications because of the yellow sign. If YouTube does change it to green, a lot of notifications will go out, but we're still yellow as of right now, which sucks, but we just got to deal with it. It's just, I am going to try after the holiday to reach out to YouTube and have them try to work and fix the fact that I haven't shown or done anything in this video that should have gotten me a yellow sign. And YouTube should be able to fix this because it is a big inconvenience. Now, they do turn my videos green. When they do this to me, they will switch it from yellow to green later on. So it's not like it's a huge deal. But if it was green when I started it, we'd probably have double or triple the people watching. So it'd just be nice if YouTube fixed their issues here. I'm going to read this. Federal law. This is a federal law. Allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is an older copyright thing, so you can include YouTube videos and podcasts in there too. This is called fair use. It's allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright. Though, only if it's transformative. In order for it to be fair use, it must be transformative. But, and there has to be many other things on top of transformative. But the base tenet is transformative. And so just to make sure, the same thing that allows her to do her video is the exact same thing that allows me to react to it. Same reasons, the same tenets of fair use. Anyone out there that would try to strike somebody or go after somebody because of any other reason than they believe that fair use wasn't respected or isn't valid in the situation is breaking the law, being dishonest. They are stomping on another person's free speech and rights, and they're a horrible person for doing it, just so you know. And that's why Molly and Betty and all of them are so bad, as you saw in my video yesterday. Let's get going. Again, you've got to change your name. It's an oxymoron to call whoever you are an advocate. It's an oxymoron. You should be calling yourself a pretender, a simp, a defender, a liar, an unintelligent, uneducated individual, but not an advocate.
Navigating the YouTube streets.
When you stop your song and then move into the vocals, you should add a fade at the end of the song, even if it's only for half a second, and then it won't cause that big kind of oof right there. Just a little tip.
Has been pretty close to driving through a field of landmines or dodging overhead missiles lately.
What?
The YouTube street. Navigating the YouTube streets has been pretty close to driving through a field of landmines or dodging overhead missiles lately.
When you are this bad at commentary, when you make as many false claims as you do, and when you twist logic as much as you do, I'm sure it would be.
Lines have been drawn every which way but straight.
Every which way but straight? Maybe for you. But over here, we've been drawing our lines very clear, very straight, very upfront. So I have no clue how you can say that unless you're talking about your friends.
There are theories, half-truths, and outright lies popping up on clip, drama, and hate channels.
Okay, again, you're just saying something. Now, again, you are right. I'm sure there are channels and hate channels this applies to. The issue is you don't correctly apply the definition of a hate channel properly, because criticism is not hate. You know, criticism is that thing that every time when you were a kid and your parents or your guardians would try to teach you how to do something that you were doing wrong or that you could do better, every bit of that is criticism. Everything that made you learn, everything that made you become who you are was gained through criticism and instruction and education. These are all the same thing. They're all the same concepts. They just have a little bit of a different application of the concept. So, you know, you can't call a criticism channel a hate channel unless they're hating while they criticize. My channel is not a hate channel.
And they also...
Now, I would definitely say that Molly, Dolly, Betty, the PMs out there are definitely hate channels.
seem to have a common denominator. Molly Golightly.
No, I don't. No, Molly is just the one who did it so prolifically and so much that when she got bigger and started to dox, lie, threaten, and scam almost on a daily basis, if not showing herself snorting, Dilaudid, and doing all this other stuff and all the craziness we've shown is because of Molly's actions. If it was because of Molly then what you're saying is, let's pretend that Betty is the one that blew up and Betty was doing everything Molly was doing. You're saying all of our content would still be about Molly and not Betty. Or what about if it was, I don't know, who's another creator? Deets on the Streets or Chronicles of the Shady is the one doing what Molly's doing and has a channel exactly like Molly's, and she's the one. So what you're saying is all of our content would be ignoring Deets on the Streets and we would be going after Molly, right? See, this is why you're wrong. Now, again, there could be channels out there that do hate Molly and they do lie on Molly and attack Molly and all the things you're claiming, but you aren't applying logic. You're making a claim. Now, the other part of what you're doing is lying. Absolutely lying. I can't tell if it's because you're just really incompetent or really dishonest. And I hope to God it's not a combination of the both, because that's a dangerous combination. Well, for you it is.
Or, as she's known legally, Marissa Zadinsky.
Nice docs. Just kidding.
And we also have,
if Betty came out tomorrow and advocated for Candace Wells to be brutally SA'd with a baseball bat, I'm pretty sure we would cover her. Yeah, Christy, it's insane. This is why they fail so hard. This is why it doesn't work for them like they want it to. Because they are literally just lying and making stuff up and making claims. And they are they're doing all of the things that they say other people are doing. It's called Darvo. They're assisting in Darvo. And there's only one person that benefits from this kind of Darvo, and that's her. So it really makes you wonder if it's not Molly making this happen. And that's why I think it's weird that Molly shared not this video on her Patreon today. She shared the last video we reacted to on her Patreon today. And again, I think that was a deceptive throw because, yes, I think some of you could be right. If this isn't Goose, it's probably one of Molly's other simps. Just they're doing their best to appear as a neutral person observing this stuff and drawing this opinion. And they keep saying it's because of facts, it's because they're right and all these things, but they're just making stuff up. If they weren't making stuff up, as you saw in the last video, they would have shown examples. They would have actually proven what they were saying. Are they going to prove what they're saying in this video? I doubt it. Criticizing bullies like Molly and company isn't bullying, like LMFAO. These are people are idiots. They are idiots. Thank God you guys are saying it and seeing it. Now, you can use whatever word you want to use, but just understanding that the reason these people are like this is because they are incompetent, they are uneducated, and they have no idea what they're talking about, and that they're dishonest, and that they're simps. Acknowledging that is the best thing you can do because it's the truth. It's the truth.
had a common goal. Get Marissa banned, barred, and excommunicated from YouTube at any cost.
No, that wasn't my goal. I constantly talked about how I didn't want that to happen. And I constantly gave Molly advice on how she could not be banned. This is recorded on this channel prolifically. Now, all of you, and I'm not mad at any of you for it, but all of you guys out there that support me who kept telling me that I should push harder for Molly to be banned and that I should go at people harder and I shouldn't give people chances and I shouldn't give them credence. Now you understand why I did. I'm not playing the short game. I'm playing the long game. And my game, the thing that we want to have happen when that game is over is for these people to stop doxing, exploiting, lying, scamming, all the things that have one thing in common. They take advantage of other people. Giving an opinion is not taking advantage of another person unless you're lying while doing it, which we don't do. We actually show the proof of what we're looking at and talking about so that no one will accuse us of that, so that you know we're not doing that, right? We listen to people when they say, you're wrong. I'll give you an example. We're still looking for an originator live stream from where Betty said that she had kids taken for smacking them up the butt and that she hates the CPS system. We're still fact-checking that so that we can figure out whether Betty did say it in that context or whether, like some people claim, it was a different context. We're doing this irregardless of the fact that Betty's a doxer, irregardless of the fact that she is a stalker, a cyber stalker, a liar, a manipulator, an abuser, and a really just a victimizer. We are helping her because it's the right thing to do, is to put the truth out, to make sure that we're accurately reporting on the things we're telling you, so that then you can judge me based on my commentary, which is what they should be doing. Again, though, why aren't they doing this? Because their channels aren't about giving the truth. It's not about them having a good YouTube channel or a respected channel. They have a different motivation. It's why they lie. They are ignoring hard evidence of what Marissa has done. And if they don't bring up all of Marissa's doxings, all of Marissa's bullying, all of her harassment, all the laws she violated live, all the scams she's perpetrated, then it goes beyond just that, because it's showing that these creators are actively lying to defend Molly. But let's hear what she has to say.
So, you band together and openly worked to mean girl her right off the platform.
No, we didn't. We didn't take her off the platform. That would only be true if we took her off the platform, if we caused her to be off the platform. She showed her tenant as a landlord, got her driver's license and took a picture of it and showed it on her stream and was immediately banned. The same thing would happen to PewDiePie. The same thing would happen to Markiplier. The same thing would happen to me if I did it. The same thing would happen to anyone that did that. You are actively lying. The evidence is recorded. It's already been seen. It's on the platform. It's been acknowledged by YouTube. She also was banned for graphic hate speech, doxing, and bullying House of Williams and other people. So how are you going to keep saying that she got banned because of other people when she chose to do these things maliciously live in front of everyone? Oh, they're such bad people because the people that reported Molly, the people that tag team YouTube, they're horrible people for following YouTube's rules. They're horrible people. YouTube, actually, let me show you this. Team YouTube just was telling people exactly what you're supposed to do when someone does what Molly has done. So really, they should be complaining about the rules of YouTube, and they should be complaining about YouTube's system, and they should be arguing that doxing, harassment, lying, and scamming should be allowed on the platform, because that would be them making an honest argument for what they're claiming, what they want, right? I know Rachel put in here a response into general from Team YouTube. Maybe it was in the Molly room, but it was a Team YouTube post. I hope I didn't just skip it. Oh, got it. Team YouTube, we want our community to flag inappropriate content or content that breaks YouTube's rules to ensure YouTube is safe for everyone. If you come across anything that violates YouTube's policies, report it by following these steps. The steps are to report it how YouTube normally tells you to report it, and also to tag them on Team YouTube. This is a bold-faced, abhorrent, disgusting lie. And your credibility just went out the window. I mean, it did for your last video, but I'm judging you again from square one on this video. Your credibility's out the window. So I don't know. Are you saying this because you want to fool people into thinking that Molly didn't do those things? Isn't that dishonest? Isn't that wrong? What's your motivation for doing that? Also, Molly can keep making money from people so they don't know the truth, because if they knew the truth, they wouldn't keep giving her money. Well, then that would be a scam.
Through mass striking, constant nitpicking, and over-analysis of every dadgum word she said.
Wrong. Do you realize how much of a lie that is too? Do you know how much of Molly's content we did not show? There was a lot of stuff that Molly did that we should have showed that we didn't, just because of how prolifically Molly was breaking the rules, doxing, lying, attacking people. And I mean, each of these singular things are enough to get her banned from the platform. Each of those singular things. Also, why are you defending Molly's abhorrent, disgusting hate speech and doxing? Nina the advocate. Advocates don't advocate for people to have crimes committed against them. You're doing that right now. Because if Molly is allowed to do what she did, and it wasn't her breaking the rules to be banned, you're saying that it's okay. You're saying that it's normal. You're saying that it's fine. Well, maybe you're just saying that Molly is special. Are you saying that she is a goddess and that she's the only one allowed to break the rules and only one allowed? What about Molly being so cocky, saying that the reason she's not breaking the rules is that she's never been banned? Oh, how quickly you move the goalposts the minute you need to make an argument to help your simp master keep making lots of money.
What's even more mind-blowing is that you all doubled down when...
Oh no, again, mind-blowing. Yes, someone as incompetent as you would have your mind blown all the time.
She was navigating the pain of watching her mother battle cancer and then losing her.
No, she did a lot of the stuff before she lost her, okay? And how does that... So if Molly robs a bank and offs 5 people while she's doing it, when the cops go to arrest her and take back the million, hey, happy birthday, J-Dub and Rebecca, hey, and right back at you. Hope you had a great Easter. Thank you all for hanging out with me on Easter. I shouldn't have to say it again, but because there are some Molly trolls out there that are very dishonest and lie a lot, as I told you for weeks, my family did their Easter celebrations last week due to a family member having to leave town this weekend. So we've already done our celebrations. Now, we also did go to church and still eat and celebrate today. But to make up for the fact that I was off last weekend for Easter and Friday for my back injury, I wanted to make sure that I streamed today for anyone that wasn't busy with Easter, okay? Because I know a lot of you celebrate Easter depending on when your family can be there. And I know a lot of you also maybe aren't religious, or maybe you're not someone that celebrates. So that way we can all hang out and be together, man. And our top here, if you guys see our top, make sure you give him some emojis, heart emojis for me. I don't see him, and maybe that'll pull him out so he'll start talking to me. Anyway, just because Molly lost her mother, you're saying that she is allowed to dox her tenant using her landlord status to collect private information and pictures of her driver's license and then dox them illegally, inappropriately, while bullying and harassing on YouTube in front of thousands. That's your argument. Did you think about your argument before you made it? Or does it just not matter because this is a sock account that's made to just look like a normal other person? Which is it?
Yeah, I get it. You don't agree with or like the way she handled it. You despise and scoff at the way she is grieving.
No, actually, I've done nothing but pray for her and give her family condolences. I actually stopped talking about her and made the promise that for as long as Molly wasn't going to dox and do things, I wouldn't talk about her, and I didn't. I let Molly do several streams where I didn't even look at it because it had to do with the Backstreet Boys or something like that and all this other stuff. And the minute her mother passed, until the minute she doxed that woman, I was letting Molly grieve. Again, you just can't tell the truth. You can't even say that some people did what you're saying they did. You can't name people and actually name what they did, because if you did, people would tell you you're lying. So you're being ambiguous so that you can get away with lying, which is much more deceptive and much more wrong than just lying in general.
But it's not your story. It's not your grief. It's not your pain. It's not...
Why would it be? Who is saying that it is? What are you talking about? Are you insane? Did you even think this one through?
Your mother. Yet you couldn't help yourself. There you all were, day after day, live after live, night after night, poking and prodding.
Nobody poked and prodded her. How is reporting what she did poking and prodding? How? So when the news reports on a tragedy, they're poking and prodding. Just talking about them is poking and prodding. It doesn't matter how you talk about her, doesn't matter what you talk about, doesn't matter how you do it. Again, if you talk about her at all and they don't like you, now you're bullying or poking and prodding. Fine, I'll give it to you. Then we poked and prodded. What does that say about all of Molly's stories she ever covered? Ever. You're saying that she didn't poke and prod. She abused and harassed to the maximum degree people like the Wells, the Watts, Dre. Apply your logic in the lightest sense to Molly. She becomes the most evil person in the world. You really should think about that before you make an argument. When you're going to defend people that are doing these atrocious things, you should stop, reread your script, and ask yourself, does this completely expose Molly? Because everybody who listens to you is not a simp like you are. In fact, there's only a handful of Molly simps out there. The majority of everybody who hears this is going to apply the logic, the reasons why you're saying things about other people to everyone. Everybody gets the rules applied to them. That's how it works.
Others who have chosen to grieve publicly in ways you may not agree with, ways that you chastise Molly about, well, many of you have encouraged that. You've encouraged them to grieve publicly and talk about their feelings and all the things that go with that.
You just said, hold on a minute. Are you really? Now you understand why I played that other video. Now you understand. Are you completely doing a 180 from that last Fry Wine Fest that we just reacted to? And now completely gonna say that when Molly gets up there and she's doing what Billy Joe did, now Molly's allowed. It's okay when Molly does it. You were the one who were complaining about people talking to Billy Joe after she had a tragedy. You're acting like others did that. You did that. And this video, you've just become, in just a very short amount of time, one of the most massive hypocrites out there. Because you made a giant argument. You repeated it a lot, put a lot of stress to that argument, and now you're making the opposite argument to defend Molly. You're just a liar. You're just a hypocrite. A hypocrite is a liar. You didn't know that? It's showing that someone is lying when they are going after an enemy with something they're saying because they let their friends get away with it. They really don't care about people doing that because their friends get to get away with it. The people they defend get to get away with it. But they're going to say and apply the strictest rules to people that they don't like because they're liars.
And you know what? You've often also exploited them on your own channels.
Oh, really? Here's the moon is purple. The moon is purple. It's made out of cheese. There are really cool weed flowers that grow on the moon. This is literally what you're doing. This is what you're doing. The ocean is made of Mountain Dew. For the next week, you can drink the ocean because it's Mountain Dew Ocean. You're just saying things, incredibly silly things.
Your actions and words disgust me.
We know. We expect our actions and words to discuss people that are so dumb that they can't even understand the slang, the definitions, the verbs, and the nouns that we're using properly. I know that stupid people are going to be disgusted when they hear an argument if they're not competent enough to understand the argument. Yeah. And you should be taking your ass back to school and Billy Madisoning your ass so that you can actually start to understand the arguments that other people make. And that way you won't lie about those arguments so much.
And every decent, humane person on the planet. Do I agree with or like everything Marissa has said? Of course not. Of course not.
Are you going to bring up her doxing, harassment, bullying, the scams she's run, the drugs, all the things that she's done? Are you going to bring up any of the bad things she's done? Or is it that, because if you can excuse her for doing just one of the bad things she's done, you shouldn't even be mad at any of us. We're up here giving an opinion about what the hell's been going on, and somehow it's the worst thing ever. But somebody giving their, handing out the lauded at their mother's party, the gathering for her being sick, and then going around and doing scams and doxing and lying and completely atrociously violating the law and abusing one of their tenants. is somehow just forgiven for no reason, yet we can't talk about what happened, right? Really? Really? Oh my God, your arguments are getting worse and worse and worse. This is what happens when you're a liar.
But I will never kick someone when they are down, nor will I judge the way they grieve. Grief?
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. What are you talking about? You're supporting Molly, who goes after grieving people and attacks, lies, doxes, gets them to lose their jobs. You support that. You're not calling Molly out for that. You are giving a stamp of approval on the things that Molly has done by acting as if you can't criticize it, you can't discuss it, she can't be judged for it, but then trying to pretend that those that give an opinion about what Molly's done are somehow the abusers, the harassers, and the bad guys. So yes, you are doing that.
It's such a horrible thing to have to go through, and to have somebody pulling apart the way that you grieve is even worse.
Who did that? Nobody did that. What are you talking about? People commentated on the extreme things that Molly chose to publicly broadcast. Nobody talked about her mother that I know of. Nobody made her mother a target of content. Everyone prayed for her mother, felt bad when her mother passed away, tried to give Marissa space and time when her mother passed. You just didn't watch our channels, did you? You don't even watch the people that you're lying about. You just get up there and you say, this is what we want people to think about them, and you say it. You don't even make sure that you're accurately telling people what they've said.
Yet you all, it's like an addiction with you.
No, it's not. If it was, I wouldn't have covered thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Do you even know? Do we need to go to the dictionary and educate you on the word addiction? Is that what we need to do? Because if anything, I would say you are addicted to lying. You're addicted to simping for Molly and excusing her horrible behavior. That would be an addiction.
You can't help it. And now, your supply is drying up. Your money...
Nobody's supply is dried up at all. I have no clue where that's coming from. Really? Because all that Molly's been complaining about and all of her other simps is how much money everyone's making. So now all of a sudden we're not making money? Or something? Where are you pulling this data from? Where is any of this coming from?
Money tunnel is being closed off. And you can say...
So Molly's the money tunnel. It's not our show. Our shows didn't exist before Molly, and they're not going to exist after Molly, even though our shows existed long before Molly even started on the platform and is guaranteed to go on after Molly. Even though my most popular 20 pieces of content, and I mean content about different things, my most popular top 20 would, my most popular top 180 wouldn't even include Molly. Going by money made or views, my most popular 300 wouldn't include Molly. And that's not an exaggeration. This is history. This is like recorded history. So you're just failing and failing and failing. You just think that because I'm on a brand new channel, RockAlot, that my other channels and the content I've done doesn't exist. That's the trap for you. There's the trap for you.
That you don't care. You know, it's all for the greater good, but you're going to care.
No, it's not for the greater good. It's not for the greater good. It's because she was doxing, harassing, committing crimes against other people on her live stream, using YouTube to facilitate those crimes, scamming, stealing money, attacking people that are grieving, judging people, judging Dre for how she grieved, how she handled her family for months in the most disgusting ways possible. Yet, people that don't even go after Molly for how she grieved on her mother somehow are worse than what Molly did to Dre. Like, wow.
Soon enough. When everyone is tired of you yapping about someone who no longer feeds you your content.
What? How has that happened? How? What? You should be making this video to the anti-KJ community. Not us. Like, this is so off point. Like, it's not even in the realm of reality. And notice how House of Williams is up there. Why is House of Williams up there? Right? So let's see who she's got up here. House of Williams videos. Looks like another House of Williams videos. More House of Williams video. More House of Williams videos.
Some of you will experience worse withdrawals than others. Mallory will definitely be one of those.
No, the only people that are going to experience withdrawals are her supporters. Though, because there is so much tragedy, pimp, crack on the platform, all they got to do is click on another YouTube channel and they can get an even bigger dose than Molly would give them. It's just a fact.
It was okay for her to pile on, poke at, bully, and harass Marissa. Yet when
Wicked, you're so funny.
Marissa pushed back, which you all absolutely knew she would do, it became a public stoning.
A public stoning. So now you have no idea what a public stoning is. You didn't pay attention to what actually happened with Molly, or you're just lying about both of these topics so that you can just run your mouth.
The hypocrisy, bullying, and opportunistic behavior Mallory has had on full display is nasty and disgusting.
I agree. The stuff that she did when she was working with Molly fits those, scripters. The only reason why I'm willing to see what she does next is because she's been changing. I've been still criticizing her. I've been still applying the same concepts of criticism to her. I'm not letting her get away with anything. So only did she fit that bill when she was working with Molly, right?
She backed Marissa into a corner and acted shocked when her claws came out.
No, you see, your claws coming out is not hate speech. That's called being a racist, being a bigot, being a phobe. Those things aren't your claws coming out because that isn't even addressing. A claws coming out is representative of people fighting with each other. So instead of actually arguing about what was going on, Marissa decided to bash, be racist, be hateful, be prejudiced for who she was, which is not her claws coming out. That's just pure on racism and prejudice.
And Mallory, she loved every second of it.
No, she did not love having somebody basically be hateful to her and try to incite people to bully her for her appearance, her gender, her sexuality, her lifestyle, which had nothing to do with what happened between them. Again, you're not even being honest about what Molly did. And by doing that, you're defending what Molly did. You're defending the statements she made. Remember, what Molly said about Mal applies to all trans people from Molly's mouth. It doesn't just apply to Mal. It applies to the people that fit the same issue as Mal, the same topic as Mal. So Molly is trans bashing and bigoted and hateful and lying and making fun of appearances and looks in disgusting ways, in ways that I won't say that someone that when you give an opinion or if you don't support what they do is not pushing someone to suicide. But when you go after them and try to embarrass them and put them down and shame them for who and what they are, that is behavior that can lead to suicide.
Because
it's nice to know you, Goose the Advocate, are also the same as Molly when it comes to that hateful stuff. It's really good to know that.
I believe Mallory calculated every moment.
Oh yeah, sure. She did that. Molly didn't do it. She did it. Molly had nothing to do with it. Molly never has anything to do with it. It's why she's such a goddess. How can you blame a god? And Molly's a god. She has to be based on how you're treating her. She can get away with everything she does. But we can't even talk about what she does, or we're horrible people. So Molly gets to do all the hateful, nasty, crazy stuff, and it doesn't make her a bad person to do all the damage she does to other people and all the rights and crime and all that behavior she does to people. But if we talk about the crime that she's doing and we talk about how she's done it, we're all of a sudden the worst people. How literally dumb are you? How just completely I don't even know how to describe how bad of a take this is.
You know, it's sad, Mallory, that you could flip on a friend so quickly. And Marissa, yeah, she was hurt and lashed out.
No, Marissa flipped on her so quickly. She responded to Marissa flipping on her. And if what Mallory did to Marissa was flipping on Marissa, why have you never called Molly out for the hundreds of people that Molly have flipped on way worse than what happened between House of Williams and Molly? There's that hypocritical behavior again.
Doubt. And that doesn't excuse some of the things that she said in retaliation, but Mallory and other haters spouted many hateful bullying statements as well.
Oh, Molly did that. Nobody else did. Molly did. Hello, rockAlot, UNIRACHEL, everyone. I've been here listening. Thank you for exposing all their lies. Happy Easter and blessings to you all. Thank you, Rachel, and I hope you're having a great Easter too. Very, very, very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It is so nice outside. It's such a, it's so spring out there. And I'm so lucky because my back pain was so better today. I hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot. But thank you so much.
The real truth is that Mallory's affiliation with Molly Golightly brought her more views and engagement than anything else she did.
Yes, but that isn't a statement about Molly. I hate having to do this because these people are just, they make the same repetitive, stupid, incompetent statements every time they open their mouths. When you gain followers and subs and money, if you do it by lying, tragedy pimping, if you do it by exploiting, doesn't make you cool. It doesn't make you a hero. It doesn't make you famous. Do you know what it makes you? Infamous. Then, when you become infamous, Molly and her followers start to cry now that they're the bad people. They were tough guys when they were doing the things that made them bad people, but they're so cowardly that now they're whining and crying because everybody acknowledges them for exactly what they are. Oh, wow, it's so unfair for you guys to be treated exactly how you deserve to be treated.
Still does. And when she figured out what a good old-fashioned, hair-pulling, fingernail-scratching, weave-snatching, hand-slapping girl fight with the one person who inflated her views, subs, and engagement would do, oh...
Wait, I thought that getting views and subs and money wasn't the point. I thought it was for justice. Oh, what you're saying would only be true if what Molly and her friends have been doing this whole time was for just the money and the subs. So you can't make this argument and then at the same time say that Molly doesn't lie about tragedies for the money. Do you see where... You don't see it, do you? You really don't comprehend this, do you?
Well, Mal, she was all in.
Why wouldn't she be all in? Molly has been all in so many fights. Even where... Do you recall when someone politely asked for a refund because they were lied to about what happened when they donated the money? And that person was attacked for weeks and doxxed and harassed. How about the other 50 people that Molly did it to? So all of a sudden now, Mal's bad for doing what Molly does on a daily basis, huh?
Furthermore, she knew it would also drum up support from those who, prior to her plan, she called roaches.
Well, we support people that do the right thing. We don't take sides. I've said the whole time I've been here that if Molly or Betty or House of Williams or Dolly or any of them stopped tragedy pimping and exploiting and doing the doxing and the lying, that I would acknowledge that and support them if They appropriately made up for what they did. So what? You're just saying that we should just hate Mal forever? So if Molly all of a sudden changes and she's doing better and she's not doing any of this stuff anymore, we're just supposed to just tell her to F off. You don't think that if Molly decides to change, that's what you... Now, I want to make sure you remember this, Gooseball. I want to make sure you remember this. So if Molly ever gets better and stops doing this stuff, by the way, I don't think she ever will, but if a miracle happens and Molly actually grows up a little bit, starts to apologize, starts to make up for what she did, we're just supposed to tell her, F off, you're a bad person forever? Okay, that's you. You said this, not me. Because I typically, as I've shown with Mallory, and as I have shown in every story I've ever covered, I give people a chance to fail. I give them the chance. Because if you don't give them a chance to fail, and you just claim they're failing, it's a lie. It doesn't mean anything. You have to give them a chance to fail. So I give people a chance to fail. I hope that they don't fail. I'm realistic to think that they will, but I give them the chance. So you're saying you want to make sure that we never give Molly a chance if she ever does better. Got it. I'm glad you've said this, and you being one of Molly's really close people, I have to believe that Molly agrees with you, so this is good.
Because they hated both Marissa and Mallory.
I don't hate Marissa or Mallory. It's just astonishing how much you lie. I've said the whole time I don't hate them. You can go back in my content and hear me say it from the beginning to now over and over again. And I hope my audience recognizes why it is that I am honest in that way with you. So that because I know they're going to make these arguments. I know this is what they're going to do when things collapse on them. It's desperation. And I know that if I don't give them a chance to fail, then they're actually going to maybe actually have a good effect from these videos. But these videos don't work when we've been trying to give them advice and trying to get them to stop doing these things so they could stay on the platform.
But you know the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
maybe you live like that. I'm sure you do. You are the most basic thinking person who's ever made a video, so I am absolutely sure you think that way.
You can take that for what it's worth, although there's little equity there. Nonsense. Yeah, she's another one.
Oh, this is going to be just gold.
A couple of nights ago, she literally went line by line, screen by screen, dissecting, criticizing, and using hateful, mean-spirited comments.
She doesn't use hateful, mean-spirited comments. You are such a thin-skinned baby. But if Nonsense did use hateful, if her words were hateful and mean-spirited, then that means you must admit Molly deserved to be banned for what she said and did. Because Nonsense criticized. Didn't give any hater at all. You're saying that that criticism was hate, so you have to admit that what Molly did is absolute hate. Happy Easter. Has this advocate ever heard of KJ? Katie's the only one who can make these kind of complaints and is actually attacked daily. I think that they probably... I wouldn't be shocked if they start making content about Katie sometime in the future. Because this does, if you just replaced all the Molly stuff with Katie stuff, this would be a good, video for that kind of thing too.
Regarding Marissa's live while she was traveling to her mother's funeral. Why? What did this accomplish?
Because she was doxing a woman who was renting a room from her, violating her constitutional rights and the rights that she has as a tenant, which are crimes, and she was breaking it down and dissecting it because it was evil. So it's so easy to... You just asked why. You just asked why. And again, if Nonsense, myself, others can't commentate when these YouTubers do this, which is them using YouTube in extremely horrible ways, what gives Molly, Betty, or any of them the right to go and talk about tragedies? You're saying that we can't even talk about Molly when she does the worst stuff you could possibly do on the platform. So how do they have the right to talk about tragedies? Why aren't you making videos about how they shouldn't be allowed to be on the platform?
All it did was make nonsense look and act like a bully.
No, it didn't. It would be she would be a bully if she actually did what Molly did when Molly was bullying, by definition, the last 30 people that she's bullied in the last month. But again, people talking about Molly's bullying, it's not bullying.
It was straight up bullying.
Show what she said and explain how it's bullying. Because if you don't, you're just going to be considered more of a liar than you already are. And I don't know how that's even possible at this point.
It never ceases to amaze me.
We know. We know. When you're as dumb as you are, you're amazed by anything.
How everyone else can, pretty much pull apart, not just Marissa, but others that they don't like. They'll just rip them apart. But then,
how have we ever ripped them apart? Maybe Nonsense rips Molly apart because she actually covers just about everything Molly does that's wrong. But I don't. I cover the worst things that she does. I don't think there's anything wrong with Nonsense covering Molly to that degree. If Nonsense can't cover Molly to that degree, then definitely Molly and the rest of them can't cover tragedies. I hate having to repeat myself.
Then whenever they lash back out, everyone is in shock. Oh, how could they do that? And that's exactly what's going on with Nonsense, because...
Wait. So it's okay when Molly doxes Nonsense because Nonsense criticized her. Wow, genius take. So you'd be fine with someone murdering someone else because they came up and pushed them lightly, right?
This has been a tit-for-tat thing going on for a while.
No, it has not. Because a tit-for-tat thing would mean that when Nonsense is criticizing Molly, she's, you just debunked yourself. You just said that Nonsense completely pulled her apart, but now you're saying that what she actually did was a tit-for-tat back and forth. Those are two opposite things.
But still, the hypocrisy is so...
Oh, it is. And oh my God, the hypocrisy of everything you say is so real.
Real in this stuff. It reeks, y'all.
Unlike your video, though, where you just claim things, I'm actually proving how you're a hypocrite.
And there are so many others that I don't even want to credit. They know who they are. And I'm sure they are so proud of themselves.
No, I stated I don't like it when people get banned. I've stated that for 8 years. I've always worked to try to give the people I criticize the advice, the tips, and the tools to where they can change what they're doing and hopefully not be banned. So again, you're just lying.
Because that's who they are. Guilty of some of the things they accuse Marissa of.
No, I am not guilty of any of the things I've ever proven Marissa has done. Because I don't accuse Marissa of anything. I show what Marissa's done and I talk about it. That's not an accusation. Why do I need to accuse her if I have a video of her doing it?
They strut around with a holier-than-thou attitude.
No, that's the opposite of what I do. I always tell you that I'm not a great person. I'm not the best person. I just try. How in the world is that holier than thou? If anyone's holier than thou, it would be what they do. This is getting boring.
The hypocrisy, like I said, it reeks. As does the sheer entitlement on display.
By Molly, yes. Yeah, and you, thinking that you're so entitled that you can just make things up, just create things out of nowhere and not prove what you're saying. The fact that they're making excuses for her doxing because she was grieving her mother is insane. She wasn't just being rude, she was doxing, which is illegal. And the thing is, they'll say, well, doxing on YouTube isn't illegal. It is, but when the person is your tenant and the way that you're doxing them is using the tenant relationship to gain the information you dox, it is beyond illegal. It is a very illegal. It is unarguably a crime. Absolutely.
It's almost laughable. I've heard so many of these sanctimonious creators post how this is vindication.
Sanctimonious? Who posted it as vindication? YouTube being so slow to do their job is vindication.
And what a terrible person Marissa is for this and that. But...
no, she has been proven to be a terrible person by us showing what she's doing. We're not saying she's a terrible person for this and that. We are proving that she is a terrible person through showing video recordings of her being terrible to people every second of every day. Wow.
Most of you, if not all, on some level, have done exactly what you've accused Molly of. Some.
No. What? I don't tragedy pimp. Never have. That's the baseline thing. I don't go and attend tragic communities, scream and yell and flip out on them in a hypocritical fashion. I don't use cheap tricks to try to get views and cheap tricks to manipulate the algorithm or anything like that. I mean, I could go on for an hour. But you are a liar, so it makes sense that you feel that you're gonna, keep lying like this.
Even worse. Want to talk about Emperor?
How is anyone even worse? There is no one that has ever gotten on this YouTube platform and broadcasted themselves being a worse person than Molly. Now, other than maybe when someone shot somebody on YouTube or something, which is very rare. I don't believe anyone feels vindicated. We would have been vindicated if they would have responded in the beginning. Because it took YouTube so long, there was so much more damage done that you can't even talk about vindication because there's no justice. But anyway.
Or empresses without clothes, Mallory? There's a parade of them right now, and I don't see Marissa in the lineup.
You gotta be kidding me. You don't even know what that means. Don't even know what that means. Dear God, how did you get through school?
In fact, she and the others you all target couldn't be more opposite. Instead, they lay it all out there, and it makes them an easy target.
Doxing and harassing people, victimizing people, is not laying it all out there. Maybe if she talked about how she has urges to do this sometimes and talks about the struggle or something, it'd be laying it all out there. Her deleting her videos because she breaks TOS so often is the opposite of laying it all out there. That is her getting so mad and uncontrollable that she does these things and then tries to hide them, tries to get away with it. You cannot be honest even in the seconds between me pausing your video.
Off the top of my head, I can think of creators who have made vile comments and what would be considered hate speech.
Why didn't you report them for it?
Just to name a couple, and it pains me to do this, but I will, just so we can kind of know where I'm coming from. Benny Keys, White Boy Radio, and several other panel-happy gals who spend every waking hour on YouTube ripping apart Molly Golightly and others.
What? These people don't spend every fucking hour ripping apart Molly. They do the craziest stuff. He's a part of IP too, where they go around and party and do drugs and shit to get views. Are you shocked that they talk like they do when these are people that actually lay it out on the table. White Boy lays it out on the table. He'll tell you what he is. He'll tell you how he feels. He tells you what he's doing. He doesn't try to hide it. He's not ashamed of it. I don't agree with him. I don't like him. None of those things. But he at least does that. He's not a coward like Molly. Molly is a coward.
They decide to bully. This is what supports the fact that mass striking and social media spamming definitely contributed to Marissa's channels being targeted.
No, it didn't. YouTube has come out to state that mass flagging does not attribute to a channel being taken down anymore. In over a year. Over a year. Y'all will still not acknowledge this, which just shows how completely dishonest you really are. You won't even bring up the fact that YouTube has said this, responded to us by saying this. We've put out the exact part of the terms of service that state this, and you won't even respond to what YouTube has said and make an excuse for it. You just keep ignoring it because you know it debunks you.
Targeted. Because if it was merely YouTube
What kind of Darvo is this? MGL is always the attacker. Anyone who dares to speak out becomes her target. Exactly. And it's Darvo because Molly then, when she gets heat, when she gets exposed or in trouble for what she's done, reverses the victim offender role. Deny. She denies that she did anything wrong. She uses these sheep that she programs to deny what she's done wrong. and her own posts. She attacks people that criticize her, which is exactly happening here. And then by doing that with a combination of further actions, reverses the victim offender role. Molly is the offender. She's the one that broke the law. She's the one that was banned not just from YouTube, but from Airbnb, which proves that it was not mass reporting. That's another thing that proves it was not mass reporting, on top of many of the other things that prove it was not mass reporting. But she reverses the victim offender role so that now Molly's the victim, which if you listen to any of these videos, we're fully debunking. These videos are attempting to cement, to make the Darvo real, so that if Marissa can become the victim instead of the offender, she can keep some of her donators to keep giving her money. And that's exactly why they're doing it and what they're doing.
Investigation, none of that would have been needed. And other bad apples like Benny and White Boy would be immediately banned as well.
What are you even talking about? I ignore White Boy because, hey, Cherie, can you type in kick for me so I can moderate you? I just want to make sure we have one over there. And I don't even know how to make sure that we're in the right streaming category on Kick. Like, it should give me an option for this, but I'll figure it out later. We'll work on Kick at the end of the stream. Yeah, these people getting banned is just a complete non sequitur. It's a complete, distraction, because we don't cover them. They're not in the same place as Molly Golightly. They're not tragedy pimping like Molly Golightly. Their content is completely different. Molly, by the way, is the one that went to White Boy and went on White Boy's panel. She went there. She did this to herself. She involved herself. And now you want to cry because he responds to her and actually calls her out. Now, by the way, why did he get mad at her? Because she was breaking the rules and TOS on his platform and got kicked out of his stream for doing it. So even he, this guy that you're bringing up is like this extreme person, saw her go too far in breaking the rules on his panel and kicked her. And because he did that, she attacked him. And when he responded, y'all want to cry. Y'all want to cry. You won't even talk about what Molly did on his panel, where she was trying to shame somebody because their infant died of SIDS. You can go look this clip up if you want. We've played it and talked about it. You can't shame somebody because their infant died. It's beyond harassment and bullying. It will lead people to become depressed or possibly attempt suicide, because it's one of the most torturous and horrible things that can happen to a parent, if not the most. But you don't care about that, do you? All that matters is that you're upset because your addiction, working for Molly, now that Molly's lost her power, now that she can't get you your job anymore to go out and dox and target and attack on her name goose, sit here and be upset and cry. We'll keep crying.
Nonetheless, here's the really bad news, folks. Someone has to be the new Molly Golightly. Without a scapegoat to sacrifice, what in the world will you talk about on your hours and hours long lives?
You haven't looked at any of my content, have you? You haven't looked at any of my channels or any of my content, because I know you're including me in this. Probably why you won't bring me up, because you know that I have thousands of videos on this platform, millions and millions of views on this platform. You know this. And you want to act like somehow that I've been talking about Molly since before she even appeared on the platform, 9 years. Because in order for what you're saying to be true, I'd have to be talking about her since 2015.
Your obsession is no longer viable. Yes, obsession.
Then if people covering Molly's insanity is obsession, then you have to admit that what Molly did to Dre and all those other people was beyond obsessed. This is never going to work.
Let me define it for you. I like to do this. Obsession.
We know. It's because you skipped a lot of this in school, obviously. Because you don't even know how to appropriately apply definitions to the words you're talking about.
An idea or thought, or person in this case, that continually preoccupies or intrudes on a person's mind.
Well, then I'm not obsessed with Molly. Not obsessed with any of the people I talk about then.
You all can't help but include her in every live or video you make.
Can't help but do it. So Molly was obsessed with Dre. Gotcha. Molly was obsessed with the Watts and all of them. Okay.
Let me say it again. You all are obsessed with Molly Golightly.
Actually, no, I think Molly is obsessed with us. I think you're obsessed with us. I don't think that a scientist is obsessed with going and doing his job. I don't think that someone that drives their car every day is obsessed with driving their car. You do. Is you that dumb?
Yes, you are obsessed with Molly Golightly. One more time for the haters in the back. You all are.
Yeah, I love how confident this person is. Could you just imagine her mindset while she's recording this? Could you imagine like her and her smiling and her gyrating like, you guys are obsessed, right? Dunning-Kruger times a million right here.
Obsessed with Molly Golightly.
No, this is that kind of person who goes to Wikipedia, they skim an article, and they go out and pretend that they're an expert at the subject. That's what this person is. Oh, and they know it. Oh, when they hear me say that, they're going to get mad because they're going to be like, damn it, I do that all day, every day.
Here's the deal. In closing, someone will be next. And you all have been trying to chip at a couple of others, but it's not going to be easy.
Actually, it's very easy. I thought you just said it was easy. How is it hard?
You showed all your cards. And two, or...
No, we didn't show any cards. Okay, if our cards are doing a show where we play what's going on out in the world and talk about it, is showing our cards, then we showed 3 decks. Got it. Okay, but it's going to be very easy to get Betty banned and JLR banned and the rest of them. Because all that has to happen is that Team YouTube needs to be notified of what they've done with their channels. And then it'll take a long amount of time for YouTube to get to those reports because they'll have to, those reports will go into a queue. And then as they clear the queue, the reports move up the queue. And when they get to the proof of what Betty and JLR and the rest of them have done, they'll be banned too. And don't forget, we're not forgetting about the other people that we reported along with Betty and Molly and LB and them. We're not forgetting about LB. We're not forgetting about the doxer that he's a pig that drives a truck. We're not forgetting about any of these people. Because thankfully, YouTube may take a long time to get to people to do this with their platform. But in the very least, they'll get there. What's happened with Molly shows that they'll eventually get there.
50,000 plus can play at that game. Not one of the hate and clip channels are innocent. None of them.
All of them are innocent. If their content is transformative, people that give an opinion, people that prove what they're talking about is true, are completely innocent. You're not guilty of something just because you show what someone's doing and give an opinion on it. But then how would I expect a true crime YouTuber, worshiper like you to understand intent and justice? How would I ever expect you to?
I've noticed lately how many of you are editing and pulling down videos that put you, or could put you, in the danger zone.
Can you ever prove what you're saying? Ever? Can you ever prove what you're saying? Because none of this is happening. So I have to then look at all of YouTube, all the community, editing and pulling down videos that could put you in the danger. Who has done anything like Molly? Tell me, and I'll report them to Team YouTube for you. Okay? Go tell me which clip channel or which member of our community is crash pimping and doxing and doing all that. And I will prove you wrong by reporting them to YouTube in the same fashion that I reported anybody else. But you won't acknowledge me saying that because just like you won't acknowledge any of the things I've actually said and done on my channel, because it doesn't fit your lie, your slander, your narrative. You are evil. You are a bad person. You're in the wrong. You are supporting everything that she did by making excuses for it, lying about it, deflecting from it. And you're doing what you're doing is actually defame and slander and all of that toward the channels that you're framing like this. So if you want to prove, which you very much should, if you want to prove that you're not doing that, you need to go grab every claim you made in this video, go to where people have done the thing you're accusing them of, and pull a clip of it. You've grabbed a shit ton of these stock videos that I know you didn't license. You didn't license any of these stock videos. None of these are in the Creative Commons. So you've just went to YouTube and grabbed them. You might have had a couple of these stock videos that were in the Creative Commons. Well, they were on YouTube. That doesn't mean you can use them. I mean, you are all about everyone doing the right thing all the time. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. I thought that's what we were doing.
I've even seen some lives edited after the fact. Some of you
Who
are having what is close to come to Jesus moments of how you want to do better. My, oh my, oh my. Funny.
No, I don't want to do better. I'm doing just fine. I don't have to want to do better all the time. With my YouTube, I mean. You just come to Jesus moments of how you want to do better. Oh my, oh my. Maybe you should try to do better. Have you ever tried to do better? Have you ever taken your own advice at anything? You can't, because you don't even know how to correctly apply what's happened and what you're saying to reality.
How cleanup happens after you realize your own stinking. Understand, folks.
I don't believe you.
Accountability is a two-way street. Maybe you're next. Maybe you.
I already am perfectly fine with YouTube going through all of my channels as much as they want with a fine-tooth comb. They can do it 5 times, 10 times, 15 times. They're going to have to if I ever get to 100,000 on any of the channels. What y'all don't realize is that when you hit 100,000, YouTube automatically reviews your channel. There are channels that are banned when they hit 100,000. There are channels that are demonetized fully when they hit 100,000 because they find out they've been breaking TOS in many ways to get up there, or that they've been buying subs, or that they've been doing any of the things you're not supposed to do. This happens all the time. All the time. So, I mean, you're acting like... What does this have to do with anything, by the way? Do you know what you would really be doing if any of the things you're saying are true? You wouldn't be doing some vague lie-filled video where you just claim things. You would be outing them. So there are Molly... Okay, according to this person, there are Molly criticism channels that are doxing like Molly, running scams like Molly, and she's saying that we're all just ignoring it for some reason, right? Even though I've told her to prove it, and I'll go and report them to Team YouTube for her in the same way we've done to Molly. And those people are now trying to hide all the bad stuff they've been doing. Why did Molly never once grab any of her criticism channels and expose them for any of these things you're claiming? Because she was admitting, straight out admitting, that she was digging through her criticizers' lives and channels all the time so that she could try to find something to use against them. And she admittedly said that she couldn't find anything. But all of a sudden now, there's just this overwhelming amount of things that the clip and criticism channels have done wrong. And instead of you actually calling them out for it and exposing them for it, you're just going to pretend as if it happened and do nothing. I don't believe you.
YouTube will start investigating all of you too.
Good. I've encouraged YouTube to do that, to look at the entire community. I've said this ever since the beginning. The entire community should have YouTube come in and check the channels. Fact. This person is high on double standards. Oh, probably the highest.
Perhaps you all should have been more careful what you wished for.
No, I've been doing this same thing that I've done here. I've done it in hundreds of communities. I've done it for many, many years, almost an entire 10 years of doing this.
This is Nina. Until next time. See ya.
For one, you're not Nina. Hi, Goose. And for two, wow, I'd love to know what you all think about what we just saw. Now, I made sure to pause this a lot because I have to not only transform the content, I not only want to be able to respond to every point she's making, but I want to do it to where if she tries to strike me, YouTube will side with myself and strike her for misusing the system. This is why I have to pause a lot. Okay? Pausing a lot does not mean that you're doing fair use, but it, combined with all of the other tenets of fair use, is what makes something fair use. So let me see what you guys are thinking about this. Jen says she gonna find out the hard way. Every little thing she said about other people, I'm promising you this person's been doing. By the way, she told her chat today to report any videos of her reposted over here. Her chat, report videos of her reposted over here. Again, that's mass flagging. Molly said that because that's the definition of mass flagging and false reporting. But just like YouTube said, if your video is done within the rules of YouTube, you have nothing to worry about. Get me? You can comment on what she's doing. You can, even if she goes and starts streaming on Twitter, you can comment on her Twitter streams. You can pull clips from them. It doesn't mean that you own the copyright. Now, I think a lot of people in the community don't understand fair use and they don't understand like the copyright and all of that. Thank you. Hold on real quick. Wish it could be more. Get a nice coffee. Cool to say my name on stream. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate you so much. And I do. I appreciate you right back and thank you. If anyone else wants to donate, I'll throw my links in the chat. It's optional. I just throw them there just in case you want to. It's paypal.me/UNIRock or $UNIRock on Cash App. Make sure you're like and subscribed here and to UNIRock too. And I am streaming for the first time on Kick, even though I don't understand why Kick isn't giving me an option so that I can... Here, let me see if I can go to the dashboard. Here, let me see if I can go to the dash. Now it's going to play my freaking voice here. Edit stream info. There we go. Title. UNIRock Live. Category. This would be just chatting. Bam. Save it. Right. Perfect. We are live on Kick under just chatting. Followers only chat. Yep. And there we go. Finally. All right. You know, Kick isn't that bad of a platform. Oh my God, I've got 15 followers. When did that happen? I had one earlier. Let me go ahead and give you guys my Kick link, kick.com/UNIRock. Make sure you go over there and follow me. Hell, maybe we'll play some video games over there or something. If you're in my gaming crew, make sure that you follow me on Kick, okay? If you're part of the UNIRock gaming crew, follow me on Kick. Actually, let me put this into Streamlabs so that I can get my gaming crew follow me over there. Dude, that'd be tight to go hang out over on Kick sometimes, you know? And let me see if there's anything else you guys are saying here. Let me add a Kick timer. Kick. Follow us on Kick here. Kick.com/UNIRock. We'll say every 15 minutes. Pop up in the chat. Save it. All right. Hey. Definitely don't use Kick if you're not interested in it. Only if you are. I think her videos will be taken down on Twitter for TOS. If she's violating TOS, they will be taken down. If she doesn't, I don't think they will. You still have to censor things appropriately if you're going to react to Molly's content, her new content, new things she's doing. You still have to follow the rules. That's what I think have happened to some people that react to someone who's been banned. They don't adequately transform the content enough, right? Give this to UNIRACHEL. Will do, booty. Will do. Because I got enough now for me to get an iced coffee, but Rachel's just going to have to be cool. I don't got enough to get her one, so she's going to have to chill. I'd never do that to her. You know that. All right. So, this is the amazing Advocate channel. So, Athena Brownwell gone since Christmas. Adam's allegedly responsible. Wow. Tragedy pimping a little girl right after complaining about people talking about and hosting the grandmother to Quentin Simon. This is not Amanda Koberger at the King Road crime scene. No shit. No shit. We debunked this months and months and months ago. You probably did it months ago. Koberger thinks he's in large and in charge. Who in the world is Koberger? Told you so, Billy Joe. You know, these people are just so bad at what they do. And I don't get it. So, for a moment, what I want to do is pretend that that person isn't a Molly simp. That they're a normal creator who's just been looking at things that are going on and made a bad take on a video. And I want to explain to them why I think they're in the wrong in what they're doing. Not just towards this community, but in general. Because when you do have a bad take like that, even if you delete it, or even if later you change, it's always going to come back to haunt you. People love going back into my old content to try to get me on something. They just don't realize that I've been doing the same thing for so long. They're not going to find me doing anything different when they go back there. So the thing is, though, when you are willing to excuse the things that this is going to follow you, because you're sitting here talking about true crime. Who are you to ever commentate on true crime? Let me give you an example. Who are you to commentate on any of this true crime when you can't even defend somebody who Molly's been doxing and targeting, harassing, and bullying, or the scams that she's running? And then you want to be able to somehow claim that you are a good person to make a take on true crime. Really? I mean, shit. If I saw that there was a police officer out there, a detective, and his job is to investigate homicide scenes, but the guy can't even do basic paperwork at all competently, I don't think he should be out there doing investigating those crime scenes. And in the same respect, how can we expect you to give a good take on anything when you're willing to be this dishonest? You can't fact check anything that you put out. I mean, for God's sakes, if you actually believed any of the things that came out of your mouth, it would mean that you did not do a single solitary second of actual work. And it's just funny because all these other videos that are sitting there look like placeholder videos. They look like videos that are made very quickly and very basically just to make it look like this channel has actual content on it, right? It's just silly. He's got all these pictures of these kids and stuff everywhere. And listen to this insanity. Advocating for justice through heartfelt, honest, and open-spoken letters. You've already lied in your about section because you are a very, very dishonest individual. That is not a implication. That's not a joke. It's not me being mean to you. It is... You can fact check it simply to see that. And it was made in November 6th of 2022. So crazy that they call themselves an advocate. All right. So we got that done. Let's see if there's anything else we need to look at real quick. So I want to actually help this person out. Let's go to the Urban Dictionary and look up tragedy pimp, because that would be appropriate if you find the right definition that applies to how we're using it. Why? Because Urban Dictionary gives definitions to slang or memes. And not everyone uses a slang or a meme in the same way, depending on because you could have a popular kind, like a tragedy pimp could be used in many different ways. So let's see if this definition actually fits to how we use the word. A producer of content that focuses on and targets tragedies such as murmurs, susus, stillborns, robberies, riots, shootings, fires, and etc. that have befallen certain people or celebrities for the intent of gaining clout, sympathy, or profit. These types of people tend to congregate on YouTube, Twitter, and other social media platforms. Quote, that true crime woman only seems to create content to elicit sympathy from donations and people. She's a tragedy pimp. This is perfect. This is perfect. So getting an actual definition of the word we're using this word tragedy pimp is completely different than using the word tragedy or the word pimp. And using it in the way we're using it and applying it to YouTube creators that are doing a certain thing is completely different from a pimp in the real world that goes around pimping women out and then tries to cause tragedies to people while they're in the middle of their pimp fest. Oh, you banging that guy? Well, I'm going to run my car through the front of his apartment so that a tragedy happens to try to satisfy the needs of the client because he's, you know, they love trying to bang while a tragedy's happening. If you use that definition to describe tragedy pimping when referring to us, you'd be just as dishonest as this person was earlier. But in order to understand that, you have to understand past a middle school level of language. Just another Molly simp doing their thing. So that was a good catch, Dead GPK. Love you, appreciate you, great stuff. What else we got here? So a nice little graphic made by Frogster, the Frogster. YouTube says videos don't get removed for too many flags. It does not automatically remove videos or penalize channels for receiving a certain number of flags in an attempt to fix the issue of mass reporting and mass flagging. This happened over a year ago. Flags do not impact the outcome of a video. We've seen that, so let's skip over to this part of the image. There is no system that'll get the video taken down for being reported X number of times like it used to be. They fixed this. Sometimes it accumulates a lot of flags. They call it brigading. Can it cause a video get taken down? Can brigading? No. Emphatically no. As you all know, I think this is a beautiful image, a beautiful graphic, and I am going to tweet it out right now. Right, just tweeted it out at UNIRocktv. Oh, there we go. We got some people chilling on Kick. Let me see if I can moderate them. Oh, come on. Are you joking? It won't. It's not allowing me to moderate. Nope, I guess I'll have to figure it out later. I thought I'd be able to click you and moderate you. So, Green Frog, Booty Shots, Wannabe, Atra, thank you for following. Really appreciate you guys. Oh, we actually have people watching over there, too. Excellent stuff. All right, let's keep moving. Molly says, in the end, people always have a way of revealing who they are. You just have to give them space and time to do so. No mask can be worn forever. She says, sigh. Oh, the irony. And I think we're good here.
Rumor of Moose Nickel. Did that really come across the teleprompter? Oh, sorry. I thought I was seeing things. Word on the YouTube streets. Is that Moose Nickel and Walnut? I mean, Emily got into a big fight. Now Walnut aka Emily is out. Drumroll, please, and Gina Diamond is in. That's right, Gina has been scissoring with Moose Nickel. The saw.
I didn't know that.
I have to tell you something. One thing that Jay...
All right. I think we got that out of the way. And we have an issue, y'all. Bullhorn Betsy. Bullhorn Betsy here is moving to Kick.
House.
One of the most horrible YouTube intros I've ever seen in my life. Lord. Did you hear what Heels said about you? I did not. Oh, you said Willow. Okay. Speaking about herself, Molly is, yeah, I know, right? Great conversation. Happy Easter spring holiday. I've got to get going. Okay, well, you have a good one there, Rose. Glad you stopped by. And you too. You too. I've only got a little bit longer myself, and I got to go off the air because I do have to do a few other things today. Got most of everything done earlier and last weekend, but there's just a couple things I want to get done. So, you know, we're going to see what happens here. Uni, go to dashboard and then community. The mods are there. Thank you, Minx, for letting me know that. I will definitely go there and try that out. My Kick account has been around since the platform started. I actually found it because of Cyrax. A few months ago, Cyrax tried to go to Kick, so I made an account over there. I'm just glad that I got it set up to where we can actually stream there now. Hey, BGF, Voodoo Sue. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. If you guys like my gaming content, follow me on Kick, because I'll probably stream some video games and extra content over there. Just extra stuff. I might even stream shows, but it'll be extra stuff, you know? And do me a solid, guys. Make sure you check out my friend's book on Amazon. The link is going to be in the chat. I'll throw the link down in here for you real quick. If you guys are into fantasy and stuff, this is a great book that my friend wrote, and he's really trying to get it out there. And oh, you can get it on Kindle for free? Oh, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can download it and read it for free. So if any of you have Kindle Unlimited, go grab it, okay? I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. Hey, there it is. So yeah, I've got to add them. I guess I'm going to need the name of my moderators, excuse me, in order to put you as a moderator over there on Kick. In order to put you as a moderator. Kick's... The stream looks really good over there, at least. Potatoes gonna potato.
Breaking news. With Kick.com. So we may just end up having to move over to Restream because I do like Kick. I do like Kick.
Sure, that's why you're moving over to Kick, Betty. It's not because you are worried that your YouTube channel is going to be banned due to the extremely prolific doxing that you've been engaging in. It's not that you know that you didn't just break TOS. You've broken TOS in such an invasive, destructive, and prolific way that you know you have no chance of keeping your YouTube channel. And so you need to start moving your audience over to Kick now in case it goes down so that you can still try to get some of those donos coming in.
It's definitely something new I'm gonna have to adjust to, but it's definitely an opportunity for this channel to grow and find more audience out there. I know there's a couple people pecking away right now with their little chirpers, you know. I thought it would save some of you guys from listening to endless complaining and bitching on the streets of YouTube this morning. So I decided to go live. And
what does that even mean? What?
We didn't get an opportunity to really touch a lot on the cases. We kind of just gave an update on the West case and what's going on with that case because...
Stop exploiting these cases. Just stop. Do you really think you're going to be able to tragedy pimp on Kick? You realize that Kick is like a Wild West kind of platform, right? Y'all are going to get torn to shreds over there. The minute people realize tragedy pimps are trying to pimp on Kick, you're going to get torn to shreds.
They didn't have...
You've never dealt with the early internet. I'm an expert at the early internet. You've never dealt with new platforms. I've been on every single new platform. I know what it's like. PewDiePie gave me 500 bucks on D Live. God bless the man. Y'all are going to get kicked over on Kick. And you're going to whine and cry like you've never whined and cried before, because they're not going to care when they troll you there. Ain't going to be like people trolling you on YouTube.
At court all last week. And, you know, this week they're going to be doing that again, but they're having some problems with their phone system because so many people are trying to listen. And you know, it's a public, if judges would quit trying to block the public, they wouldn't be having these technical issues. They wouldn't be having floods in their street of people going to the courthouse with our new technology that we have today, as opposed to what we had, you know, a measly 10 years ago.
You're not making sense. You don't know how to communicate properly. You don't know how to carry a thought. You're worried about something. Something is in your head.
Have a lot of new technology that allows us to broadcast to a wider net of people for those that would like to participate in things.
Trust me, I know all about it. I know all about it.
And some of these judges are just adamant that they want old school stuff, you know, in their courts. They don't want the videos, you know, they don't want to be recorded making mistakes. They don't want.
Oh, that's what it is. They don't want to be recorded making mistakes, even though the court records everything that's going on in there. Everything that goes on is recorded inside the courtroom. Doesn't mean it's public, but it is. And the judges, they're like, oh, I don't want to be recorded, even though I'm recorded.
What goes on in their courtroom to be disclosed to the public. It's a transparency issue for me.
No, it's not. When they shut out a tragedy pimp, when you get shut out of a courtroom and you can't pimp the kind of money you want to make out of a situation, that's when you start lying like this.
Got nothing to hide, show the public. I mean, i.e. a public trial. And you cannot tell me that there is not federal funds that go into those courthouses or into those communities. They do. That means at the end of the day, we're all.
Someone had a clip where she says innocent until proven guilty. How do you know that? Because it's only a constitutional right, you moron. Exactly. How do you know he's innocent until proven guilty? Because everybody is. Imagine someone that covers true crime saying anything like that ever.
We're all taxpayers for each and every community in and around this country. Therefore, we.
No, these judges still respect the rights of people. That's the thing. These judges have to study the law to a point that they know it like the back of their hand. They spend every second of what they do checking the law and making sure when they rule, they're ruling to the law. So if you have an issue with the judge's ruling, you can either try to prove that the judge didn't follow the law when they ruled, which you can appeal to and appeal for if they made an error. But if they didn't make an error and they ruled by the law, you need to go out and, you know, actually try to get laws changed at that point. These people don't even understand copyright. They don't even understand the basis of copyright and why something is fair use, what makes it fair use. How in the world could you expect them to think about anything else? Copyright is a lot easier to understand than a lot of criminal laws.
We are their public and their taxpayers.
A lot of privacy laws.
So that's hard to get around. And so
she literally just makes it up as she goes. This woman has not sat down and written a point out, studied something, and come up with a presentation or a discussion she wants to have. She pressed that live button and she's just blabbing.
So, you know, they're having problems with the phone system. You know, if they would open it up to people and mute it as necessary, that would be more accommodating and to make their lives easier. I mean, at the end.
Their lives easier. Their lives. I think their lives, I don't think they give a shit about making their life easier. I think they care about respecting the rights of the people and the law. And you just don't like it. You don't like it. I don't like it all the time, but that's the thing. Regardless if we like it or not, if you don't like it, there's a lot of other countries you can move to.
At the end of the day, judges and clerks and legal assistants have better things to be doing than managing phone systems. Can we agree with that? So it would be my suggestion if I...
The fact that these things come out of your mouth is so entertaining. It is so entertaining. You know what? I need to share my my links over on Kick too. I didn't even think about that. Now that I got people watching me on Kick, and I can't even believe we got people watching our first stream. You guys are awesome. I need to make sure I put my links in both chats when I share my links.
Judges looking or watching this, allow video. You know, if you have one pooled reporter in there, you don't have 15 news outlets in there.
Yeah, I'd love to take a vacuum cleaner and just take the hose off the vacuum cleaner, you know, and vacuum her hair. I mean, it would clean up so much of the dust and the rickets and the hay and all the grass and stuff that's in her. When she shakes her head, there's a dust of stuff that flies around. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you close a book too fast and it shoots the dust out. Whenever she shakes her head, that's what happens.
You'll have one. You can put the other news outlets in overflow rooms where they can stream right from the pooled source.
She has an epic level of delusion of grandeur. Not even occasional ones. It's her entire mindset, and she sounds so dumb and ignorant. You are absolutely right. Delusions of grandeur is where this person thinks that they not only know what they're talking about, they think they're an expert, that they sound educated in what they're saying. They are so much of a pathological liar. They actually think that, you know, watching them talk and watching what they say, they think that when we watch them, we're in awe of how much they know, and how in reality we are cringing at how just completely ridiculous they sound. That's what makes this, you know, watchable. Yes, Glow says sociopathic pathological liar. Yes, to an extreme degree. With fleeting emotional range of her emotions fly all around, and they amplify, and then they deamp, and they amp and deamp in matters of seconds.
It's better for the courtroom. It doesn't clog the courtroom up. It doesn't cause the distractions that having umpteen million people sitting in back rows texting and tweeting.
That's a right that people have. A right that people have to be in the courtroom. That right is taken away to respect the legal process when necessary, or respect minors, or respect the case, or to protect somebody. You need to educate yourself to why people are allowed or not allowed in a court before you run your mouth, not 20 years later.
While in your courtroom, and it helps with the phone lines from being clogged up in the courtroom.
You're such an idiot. She just is making stuff up. She just makes things up. It's just insane.
The judge for
make a poll. Who will go bald first, Molly or BHB with that fried thin hair? You know, I don't know. I mean, if you bleach your hair every morning, like if you just take bleach, dip your comb in it, and just comb bleach into your hair every morning, will it eventually make you go bald? I'd have to study that.
Or Letitia Stout, you know, was very smart. He chose to do a WebEx. WebEx can handle thousands of people on him versus the phones. And he was able to control the video feed. So,
oh, Kai, I know, right? Hick definitely has mixer vibes going on.
When he didn't want people to see who was on the stand, he could click that camera off and you get just audio. And then the stuff that was able for the whole entire public to see, then he would turn it back on.
No. How about you get off your lazy ass, you go down to the courtroom, you get in line, you stand out there if you want to go in and see what's going on. You go in, you sit down, you follow the rules, be respectful, you wash that thing on your head, you take a shower so that you don't stink everyone out around you, change your underwear.
And it'll be back. That was very smart for somebody that doesn't want a whole lot of cameras and news in their courtroom, doesn't want to clog up their phone system. I would say that that's a great
How about you guys stop being complete freaks? Like, why don't you just actually maybe respect other people? Why don't you respect people's rights and respect other people? Why don't you consider that into your wheelhouse of how you're coming to conclusions?
Great alternative is the way that they're doing in the Letitia Stout case. So good morning, afternoon, TD. Tammy, it's nice to see you. Ashley, it's nice to see you. MJ, we're also streaming on the new True Crime with Betty channel. We're building that up as well. We're just making sure, because, you know, there are animals out here in the streets of YouTube that just want to cause destruction, doom, and gloom.
Destruction, doom, and gloom. You prolifically stalking people's children isn't causing doom and gloom. It's people that are going to report you for it that are causing doom and gloom. She just admitted. Oh God, we've got to go over that Ryan Upchurch video. I completely forgot about it. Remind me to do the Ryan Upchurch video sometime soon, y'all. You want to call doom and gloom? Hey Betty, how is this not doom and gloom? Right here. Right here.
Like I said, I don't need to ask.
Hey, Kick. I know that we're live on Kick right now, too. This woman just made an account on your platform, and she plans on exploiting your platform. Take a look at what she does and what she says and how she treats the people. She is going to treat people on the Kick platform this way. That's a fact. This is a fact.
Ask anybody anything about them. If I want to know something about you, I will know everything there is to need to know about you. Literally everything. I'll know where your children go to school. I'll know where your parents live.
She loves talking about how she likes stalking kids. Innocent kids. Because she doesn't like their parents. She don't like your opinion, so she gonna stalk your kids. And I wish I was joking.
I'll know whether your grandparents are dead or alive. I'll know where your sister lives. I'll know where your aunt and uncles are from. I'll know where you're born from. I don't know.
We know you're a stalker. You have the face of a stalker, the body language of a stalker. You have the behavior of a stalker. You're a creep. You're a weirdo creepo. We know. Thanks for admitting it. Most people aren't this dumb. We appreciate that you are.
I don't need to ask people about their past because I will have it in print in front of my face.
So I don't want to hear you crying. Why do you not care if YouTube sees your content? You don't care, right? You said you're not doing anything wrong. So you should be happy that YouTube is going to see you say this. Because YouTube is going to see you say this. Team YouTube is going to watch this on a big screen TV.
And even though I don't commit or violate terms of service, they can say I do, and they can say it's this.
I just played you violating terms of service. You think you can just say that you don't violate terms of service. I just played an example out of the hundreds of you violating terms of service. You're a liar, a pathological liar. You do things that when you're acting tough, I'm gonna stalk your kids at their schools. I'm gonna make a crazy face while I stalk your kids. When I'm stalking your kids, my face is gonna look like this. Okay? Because she's being tough. Because she's trying to intimidate. She's trying to scare. Not only does she look really intimidated and scared here, she looks like she hadn't slept in like 3 weeks. Oh, I was about to... Little Minx, thank you. Because I was about to say... I've never seen a person paint their walls to have the exact same complexion as her. Even all the imperfect little parts of her wall have been modeled off of her face. Somebody came in to paint her walls. And they said, what color would you like your wall painted? And she did this. This color. Well, yeah, what about all the bumps? And what about all the dark spots? That's the color of my walls. Paint them now or I'll dox your kids. And I don't know what's going on. It looks like you haven't ever washed your walls. These look like dirt stains. Why do you have your hands, your fingerprints? Like, why are you bending over your couch with your hands on your wall? Because this looks like you've leaned over your couch with your butt in the air with your hands up on your wall. You see what I'm saying? Because these are fingerprints. These are all fingerprints up behind her on her wall.
This, that, or the other, but when we actually go to look at the terms of service,
it's the caller of karma catching up to her. I can't wait till you get back, buddy. We've missed you.
It doesn't say what they think it says.
Hey, Bud15, how are you? Hey, Ivy Rose over there on Kick, how are you? Hey, Ambiguous, thanks for following me on Kick. Voodoo Sue, Sunny, Nada.
So we don't violate terms of service, but because they...
Yes, you do. Here, let me help you jog your memory real quick. Let me jog your memory to you violating terms of service, because obviously you've forgotten about this. I understand. I forget 99.9% of everything I do too. Actually, I don't. Just to make sure, just to put the extra bit of salt on the Sunday here. You'll be home tomorrow night? Awesome, bro.
Like I said, I don't need to ask anybody anything about them. If I want to know something about you, I will know it.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I got any donations here. I got enough donations, I think, to get me and Rachel coffee. Nice. Thank you all. For UNIRACHEL, I'll make sure she gets it. I mean it. I will hand it directly to her. If anyone wants to support us, I'll throw it in the chat while we're watching videos. It's completely optional. Up to you. It just supports my show. That's all it does. You guys know this by now. It's not required.
Everything there is to need to know about you. Literally everything.
When she goes to the school where your kids are at, when these words disappear, that's the face your kids are going to see. Get ready.
I'll know where your children go to school. I'll know where your parents live. I'll know whether your grandparents are dead or alive. I'll know where
that crazy face right there. That's the face of a serial killer. I'm not saying she is one. That's the face of one. Now, I don't know how you admit to stalking kids on YouTube, but you don't break terms of service, Betty. I wasn't even going to report you to YouTube. I wasn't even going to. I was going to wait for you to dox somebody else, and then I was going to report you. I was going to wait for Actually, I was going to take JLR trying to dox Deets and send it in. And I wasn't even going to bother you. I was going to wait until you doxed again. Thank you, Tina. Now, why is it that I'm going to make sure Team YouTube gets every single recording of every dox and every violation you've done? Why? Have you asked yourself why? Because you should know. Was it because you recently threatened to stalk me? Yeah. And now that I have that clip of you saying that when you stalk somebody, you stalk their kids, I don't want my kids to be stalked by your crazy ass. So to prevent my kids from being stalked, since you've threatened to stalk me, and I know you're hearing this, sure that YouTube has every single example of every TOS VIO and every single dox you've done to anyone. Okay? Now, according to you, you've never broken TOS, so I should be sending them absolutely nothing. You should not be worried. You shouldn't be making a Kick account trying to go over and tragedy pimp Kick, this new beautiful new platform. Hi, B. Hi, Ivy Rose. Hi, everybody. You shouldn't be trying to pimp out Kick right now because if you didn't break any terms of service, you wouldn't need to have your backup plan, right? I think you made the Kick account because you know you violated terms of service constantly. So you can't get mad at me, Betty. You can't be angry with me. Am I not allowed to send your terms of service violations to Team YouTube on Twitter? I am. Right? And in order to make sure that you can't stalk other people's kids like you're trying to stalk mine, I think that I have to. I think you've put me in a situation where if I don't, I'm being a bad parent. Any good parent, once they see you admitting on YouTube that you stalk kids, when you get mad at a YouTuber, and then hearing that you've threatened to stalk me in the last 2 days with JLR, I think I have to now. Both you and JLR have to have your channels reviewed by YouTube because if I'd be a bad dad if I didn't do it. I'm not even joking.
They have, basically, I don't know why. Again, Bullhorn Betty doesn't talk about other creators. We don't make, full sessions on other creators.
Well, you're lying. You just talked about how you were going to stalk me. Me. You just threatened it. I know you were all mad and you were all tough. You were being a big old tough girl, right? So you had to say it. Did you mean it? I'll tell you what, Betty. If you go live and you explain what you meant when you said you were going to stalk me, I'll consider not doing it. I mean, I'm probably still going to do it no matter what you do. but I'll just consider it. Like maybe if you went live and you said, I didn't mean it, I was just being dumb, maybe I'd consider not doing it. But then wouldn't I be being a bad dad? I would, so I'd have to still do it.
We have for, wannabe drug thug, but she came after Bullhorn Betty pretty hard.
If I were you, RockAlot, and I had children and just heard that, I 1000% would. If she gave your info to one of her diehard simps, you never know. Exactly. Now, I'm protected. My kids are protected. These people, they are too lazy. They are too cowardly. They like, drinking wine in their bedroom while crying, staring in the mirror every night. So they don't want to be locked up in jail for doing something. So, of course, she's probably just talking. Then again, though, her criminal record indicates that she has choked and beaten many people that have lived with her in the past. And if you're willing to do that to people that live with you, I have to consider that you're willing to do it to strangers. So I'm sorry, you've put me in this position, Betty. You have. I didn't put myself in this position by criticizing you. You decided to post these things publicly. When you do that, just like me right now, I'm putting this publicly. So I know that someone could not like something I've said, disagree with something I've said, pull a clip and go do a video and talk about it. It's their right. You, though, love to take away other people's rights and violate other people's rights. It's why you threaten them, stalk them, and do these inappropriate things that violate their rights, is to try and bully people so that you get away with the angry bursts of rule-breaking behavior that you do when your anger problem isn't in check and you say dumb stuff.
For no reason. Don't know her, never worked with her, never spoke to her. You would think that somebody...
Golden Mare, I don't know. I know that a lot of Kicks channels are mature. They're rated for 18 and up. So it is more of an adult platform according to the way they have it set up. But it's such a new platform, I really don't know anything about demographic or anything like that yet. As soon as I get that information, though, I'll let you know. Because we should know in the next few months.
Somebody with integrity would at least speak to their subject and get to know them or understand them before they run with horrible stories. But they weren't really looking for the truth. They were...
What was that again?
We have for, wannabe drug thug, but she came after Bullhorn Betty.
You have done stuff to wannabe drug thug. Again, calling her a wannabe drug thug means she didn't do it. You're saying she wants to do it. She wants to be perceived as someone who's done it, but she hasn't really done it. You're an actual drug thug. Oh, you'd love for me to elaborate? I love elaborating. I do it all the time. You see, Betty, you don't remember when you tried to choke to death your domestic partner to the point after punching their front teeth loose with blood spurting out of their mouth everywhere and wrapped your hands around their neck to the point that they almost died before you went to jail. And you don't recall that many of your domestic abuse cases involve you giving cocaine that you had in your pocket to the popo and admitting to the popo that you're addicted to cocaine. Because you're not a wannabe drug thug, you a drug thug. For you to sit and act like Queen Bee is a bad person because you think she's a wannabe drug thug means that you think you're a really bad person. Now, I don't think you're a bad person for having an addiction, though. I think it's a problem that you need help with. I hope you do get help for it. But in the end, the hypocrisy that comes out of your mouth is incredible because you just said you don't break terms of service right here. But you've just admitted to breaking terms of service to attack Queen Bee because she criticized you. You did dumb shit on the platform. Queen Bee criticized you for it, and then you went after Queen Bee.
What they think it says. So we don't violate terms of service, but because they have, basically, I don't know why. Again, Bullhorn Betty doesn't talk about other creators. We don't make, full sessions on other creators. We have.
Let me just take a quick look at your channel. You don't do that, and you're not an abhorrent pathological liar, right? So let's go to your videos. Oh, look, you've doxed Queen Bee in 3 videos right here. And you defamed Queen Bee by lying and claiming she had a bunch of crimes that she didn't have. You admitted to looking up her phone number and trying to call and threaten her, but Queen Bee didn't get a phone call from you. So you must have done that to an innocent person or a different YouTuber. So you just said you didn't. You've got video after video after video of you doing this. Oh God, look, there's live streams about Queen Bee too. Man, it's almost like you just lie about everything.
Half for, you know, wannabe drug thug, but she came after Bullhorn Betty pretty hard for no reason. Don't know her, never.
For no reason. She has a right to commentate on what you publicly post. I thought you cared about rights. I thought you cared about free speech. One of the hardest challenges about caring about rights, your rights, is that you must also give everyone else those rights. Because if you don't respect other people's rights, you really don't respect your own.
Work with her, never spoke to her. You would think that somebody with integrity would at least speak to their subject and get to know them or understand them before they run with horrible stories. But they weren't really.
No, Queen Bee didn't do any horrible stories on you. Did you even watch her content? She told the truth about you. She played what you said. She commentated on what you said. Notice how you take what Queen Bee did and lie about it. I wonder if you're doing that for a reason. Could you possibly be doing that to Queen Bee? Maybe because you're butthurt over the fact that she called you out and exposed you? Man, that's a really weird way to respect her right of free speech.
Really looking for the truth. They were just looking for somebody to pick on to make their ratings go through the roof. We're starting to.
When you over bleach, it'll over process it, causing it to break easily. Sometimes it breaks its scalp. An appearance of balding. Molly's been destroying her hair. Oh, okay. You know, I just think Betty has an idea of what she needs to look like and how she needs to act. And I really think if Molly and Betty let go of these pre-programmed ideas about what they have to be or what they need to be or how they need to act, and instead just started to figure out who they really are and started to accept themselves for who they are, maybe they wouldn't be so violent and angry like they are, right?
To see some of her viewership dropping because the drama is dropping. So if they don't, it just.
Whose viewership? Did you just say Queen Bee's viewership was dropping? She's got the most views out of anyone in the community right now. What? You are delusional. You are literally delusional. You just make stuff up. She had 1.8K watching her a couple days ago, when she typically would have 800. What are you out of your mind? I really, you know, the more you lie, the more we need to make sure Team YouTube gets your stuff. The more you defame, the more we need to make sure Team YouTube sees your stuff. We do. Because you are out of touch with reality.
Just proves that they don't have the drama.
Darth Chaz timed out Denise. I don't even see that mod in the chat. Darth Chaz probably accidentally did. Let me make sure Denise is okay, all right? I'm sorry, Denise. Yeah, it's really, when you're watching on your phone, yeah, I found it. Denise was timed out. Let me make sure Denise is okay. Okay, Denise isn't banned. Yeah, Denise is not banned. Yeah. Hey, Denise, I'm so sorry you got timed out. Darth Chaz probably didn't mean to. When you have your phone in your hand, it'll, sometimes it's really easy to accidentally moderate. So if anyone ever gets banned, even if it's not accidental, even if you just got mad or something, just let one of the mods know, hey, I was banned, tell Unit to unban me. I'm not going to ask what you did. I'm not going to care. I'll unban you. I don't permaban like that unless you've broken TOS. I don't permaban.
They can't make the views because their content, their actual content and investigation into these cases is horrible.
No, you're lying about us again. You're lying about us again. Your content and investigation is horrible. I've never gone into any of Queen Bee's content and went to fact check it and it turned out to be fake. Never. But with you, I took every single thing you put out about Idaho and debunked it. and even showed what you took, like when you did you said that you had audio from the scene of the crime. I went and found where that audio actually came from. You know, other people had found it on TikTok, and then I found them finding it and then brought it to the audience. So you're the one who constantly lies and constantly puts out false things, not other people. You're the one whose coverage is horrible, factually. See, saying things does not make it true, Betty. Whoever in your life taught you that you could just say something and it would become true really messed you up. They should have taught you that actions are what prove things. Words are just words. If someone isn't honest or credible, their words mean absolutely nothing. Like the 2 videos that we've already reacted to. Forever. That channel's words are going to mean absolutely nothing after the lie fest that they just put out. Unless they correct themselves, apologize, update what they've done, actually fact check things and come in and admit where they were wrong. Because anyone can do that and gain back their credibility, gain back, you know, the issue that they put out something wrong. You've never done that. You've never corrected yourself.
They don't have a good batting average. They keep thinking everybody is innocent, and they want to fight for these despicable people that commit some of the most atrocious crimes because they're criminals, and they feel bad for them because they somehow feel unjust from our justice system themselves.
What? That's you. You have committed horrible, horrible crimes. You've done horrible things domestic. You've admitted to still carrying a gun with that many domestics on your record. You've admitted to horrible things. And the people that criticize you still criticize you based on what you put out and say on YouTube. You, on the other hand, want to just lie about people that commentate on you because you are too thin-skinned and you're too much of a baby to be able to handle the criticism. It's a fact. It's why you lie on your criticizers. If your criticizers were wrong, you would prove them wrong and you would validate yourself. The reason you don't and instead sit and lie is because you're wrong.
That's not my problem. They can't say that about me, right? They try to say I've been arrested 42 times, so wouldn't I be sympathetic to the criminals? I got a brain.
We're not sympathetic to criminals. You are sympathetic to criminals. JLR, a man that I don't even need to name all the things he's done, and you will never bring up any of those things that he's still doing, that he has not stopped doing, that he has not changed from, but you constantly tell people how good of a person he is. You're the one, again, actions speak louder than your claims. Your claims say nothing. Nobody believes you. Nobody takes what you're saying and thinks that it's the truth.
Cell in my brain and realize people do horrible things to their children. They just have to catch up. That's, you know, that's kind of how it works. They have to catch up. So we don't.
They got to catch up with you. You're not the one that needs to catch up with everyone else. We are the ones that need to catch up with you.
Make days and days of just nonstop beating somebody, clubbing somebody over the head, having a bitch session. But they do, and that's their content. But
excuse me? Criticizing you is beating you over the head? What thin skin you must have. Criticizing the things you say and do equates to a bitch session? Wouldn't a bitch session be you getting so triggered that you lie and constantly flip out because people criticize you? See, when you finally get honest with yourself is when your eyes will open and you'll see that you are the laughingstock.
But again, they're back to the complaining because complaining sells spaces on their channel. Complaining helps.
Oh, so now we are just making money off you. I thought we were making money off Molly. Now we're just making money off you. Now we're just making money. So again, though, making money off of someone only happens when you're clickbaiting, when you're lying, when you're inventing like 10 to Life does and all these other people, yourself, the tragedy pimps. That's making money off the person, the lies you're telling. Our shows make money regardless of who we talk about. We get views regardless of who we talk about. So that doesn't work. It's not possible for us to be obsessed with Molly and making all of our money off of Molly, and now we're obsessed with Betty and making all of our money off of Betty. Woo!
Helps them with their viewership, and when she doesn't complain, her viewers drop.
No, that's not true. That is not true. You've never watched Queen Bee then, or you're lying, one of the two. I think we can figure out which it is, because we know you sit and watch Queen Bee, and the whole time you're trying to dress like Queen Bee and do your makeup like Queen Bee and mimic Queen Bee, and you know, you're sitting there being so jealous of Queen Bee.
So she might as well take herself out of true crime, because she's not true crime.
Whoever said that I was true crime or that Queen Bee is true crime? Queen Bee is a lot of things. Sometimes she covers true crime, but she's a lot of other things too. I don't know if she labels herself as true crime. She could, because she does cover it, but I'm just saying I've seen her do a lot of stuff. You're not true crime, because in order to be true crime, you would need to be telling the truth. When you have been debunked as much as you have in single cases, you are lie crime. You are true slime or lie crime. You're not true crime.
She is drama, and her channel is
she's drama. Oh no, she's drama because she talks about what you guys are doing. It ain't drama for you guys to go around doxing and lying and getting hate speech strikes and all this other crazy stuff I could name. No, that's not drama what Betty's doing on her couch right now. While, let's see who you're clickbaiting. Let's see. Is this video you? Do you have, is your title saying that you're going to be talking about Queen Bee and your criticizers for the whole video? Or does it say that you're going to case discussion? Because you didn't talk about cases. You're talking about your haters. Let's see what your tags say. You know, you would get banned off this platform just for this. This is deceptive tags. Absolutely. I've seen people get hit with a deceptive tag strike for having a third of this. Ethan Chapin, Quentin Simon, you're not even bringing up half these people. This is clickbait. This is absolute clickbait. Idaho 4. Dead people's names. Murdered victims' names. Kids' names. Why do you have them over and over and over in your tags? Over and over and over. Why? You just repeated it. You just have it copied and pasted. It's the same thing. This is against TOS. You just said you don't break TOS. This is breaking TOS. This is incredible. How in the world do you say in this video that you're not breaking TOS when your description alone is breaking terms of service massively?
A drama channel, and if you don't believe me, just go on over there and check it out yourself. All they do is complain, complain, complain. They're not advocating. They're not advocating one bit.
You're not advocating. You're complaining. You're complaining. I don't hear Queen Bee complain. I hear Queen Bee debunk you, laugh at you, clown on you. What you're doing is a definition of bitching or complaining. Queen Bee is actually putting on a show.
So getting on to the avocation aspect and the true crime aspect in true Bullhorn Betty fashion, we're going to go ahead right on into what we have to talk about today. Lots of news is coming out about Harmony Montgomery. I don't know how many of you guys...
Where is Harmony Montgomery down here? I just see all the Idaho 4 spamming because that's the viral story right now.
Guys are seeing that. Now you fast forward, you know, they brought her in. She's going to be a prime with H and Meth. His manager confirmed to CBS News. We're just going to go through. Let me just share my...
Are you reading other people's reports? How is it valid for a reporter to use another reporter's report word for word in their report? You should be writing this all yourself if you're not just a YouTuber. You call yourself the media. You call yourself a reporter. So that's plagiarism. Reporters cannot go grab another reporter's report and read it on their report. It's their responsibility to write their own reports. A commentator, a YouTuber, can go in and take reports and commentate on them in a fair use fashion. This is pure on intellectual theft. This is pure on plagiarism.
My screen, actually, there's a video there that I find. And she was in a good foster home, and there's a lot of red flags going off for me. Here is the now I'm bringing this particular one up for, and those friendship almost lost him his life. But all that stuff that you saw.
So this is your content. And you really have the nerve to sit and pretend as if you're a true crime YouTuber? The majority of what you just brought up was drama involving these people, not the crime. If you're doing true crime, you wouldn't be concerned with any drama that doesn't directly relate to the crime at hand. You wouldn't be digging into their lives. You wouldn't be reporting all this other stuff about them. You would restrict your conversation to what is involved in the crime itself. You would do actual reports that you wrote yourself. You would collect information from other reporters and accurately source them when repeating the information. When you don't do that, you're just plagiarizing. You are a phony. You are a phony.
Where we are going, what we're finding out. Okay, no big deal. You may have killed the lawnmower, right? Hanging out of your mouth right now, right? Probably stuff in your face with pastries, maybe.
Have you looked in the mirror?
In here, like, you are so juvenile. It's embarrassing. And I know why you have to hide by Fruity Pebbles now. Because if any...
So you're yelling at your haters again, Miss True Crime Non-Drama YouTuber.
Say how childish it is. In your way. So, if you don't agree, Mike Stevens loves McDonald's. So much so, if you don't agree, duck. There is a Big Mac heading your way. Fruity Pebbles. Oh, that's cute. Fruity Pebbles can I have? Oh, God, it's another idiot. I don't see why you guys enjoy yourself coming over here trying to gaslight stuff. It's so stupid. Do you guys ever sit back and say how childish it is?
Oh, I mean, I just clicked through the tiniest little bit here. The tiniest little freaking bit. I clicked through the tiniest little bit. And now you're doing drama again. You're complaining about someone in your live chat saying something to you.
Is like just literally, you know, I'm sure you're an old person. I'm an old person, so you're probably my age or older.
How do you know that from a random person in the chat?
Do you really get off on coming in here? Like, you are so juvenile. It's embarrassing. And I know why you have to hide by.
You have deep pockmark scars on your face from doing drugs. Like, her chat is just destroying her. Destroying her.
Because if anybody knew who you were, it would even be more of an embarrassment.
Oh, doxing again. Doxing again, huh?
Let me guess, don't go to church, cuss a lot.
Oh, you definitely, if you're going to church, it would catch on fire. You are evil. You're negative, malicious, a liar, a false witness. You're a defamer. You're a slanderer. You are pure evil. Don't you dare think you can bring up church. You can. It's just another act of evil that you're perpetrating.
Have a cigarette hanging out of your mouth right now, right?
At least it's not a crack pipe, Betty. I don't think there's anything wrong with someone having a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. At least it's not a crack pipe, Betty.
Probably stuff in your face with pastries, maybe.
Somebody said something in her chat that upset her. And now she's gone off this much off the deep end.
I like white. Oh, Edward. Yuck. Last time I had White Castle, I had more grease on my face and...
So now you're trying to act like that you're just being a normal, non-triggered individual here. Isn't she hilarious? This woman who never breaks TOS, while her description is breaking TOS. This woman who never does drama. This woman that doesn't plagiarize other reporters' reports. This woman that does all of her own media and reporting.
Like I said, I don't need to ask anybody anything about them. If I want to know something about you, I will know everything there is to need to know about you. Literally everything. I'll know where your children go to school. I'll know where your parents live. I'll know whether your grandparents are dead or alive. I'll know where your sister lives.
We get it. When you meet someone like myself, you become obsessed. You must know everything about me. You must treat me as a celebrity. I'll give you the advice, though, not to do that. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not even that big of a YouTuber. I'm just a goofy guy that likes memes, that likes to commentate and criticize. I love the cringe. And I know how to find the cringiest cringe on the internet daily for you, so that you can come here, and when you witness the cringe that we watch, I guarantee you, whatever's going on in your life is going to feel like a breeze. At least you're not an evil, bleach-haired demon that's obsessed with every little thing anyone else says about you. I'm UNIRock. Thank you for coming to my show. I appreciate you. I know there's some drama in the community. I've decided to let it die down and then invite any of the other creators out there that have an issue here to talk or behind the scenes to talk to me. I think that it's a miscommunication, or someone's gotten some stuff twisted or something. And when they know the truth of what was said or not said, I don't think they'll be mad. So in our community, I think we should keep the lines of communication open. We should listen to each other's criticism, and we should do our best to try to meet our minds instead of fighting, arguing, or bringing our community into some kind of battle. So I invite any of you that have an issue to reach out to my mods, because if you reach out to me, I might not get it. That's the only reason I ask. I'll also like to respond to say, I have not been ignoring anyone in my chat. I have been Thursday, I did a stream, and then 2 days later I did a stream, and now I've done this stream. And Thursday, I tried to make sure everybody knew that I was going to have to fast for some tests at the VA. And then I was going to have to spend hours and hours and hours being poked and prodded and have all this stuff happen. So I didn't have any sleep. I made sure to tell people that when they came into my stream. I told them not to watch the stream unless they really wanted to, because I was going to be goofy and punch drunk and crazy. So some people watched that stream and they got mad at me and stuff. So I'm not mad that you got mad at me. I just want to understand why another creator or someone out there might be mad. And I want to communicate to them what's going on, let them know my opinion. And if we end up disagreeing in the end, I think we can disagree like adults. But I do think that if we actually talk, we wouldn't disagree. I think there's a miscommunication or something else. Also, our community, there's a lot of people that have been covering Molly for a long time. And of course, they're going to be affected. I don't know what way they will. I don't know if it's going to be for good or for bad. I don't know if it's going to scare them. I don't know if it's going to make them fear that their community is going to die. But I can promise you one thing. Our community is only going to get bigger. And I hope that the people out there that have been hanging with us, it's your decision whether you keep hanging with us or not. It really is. If you choose not to hang with us, that's perfectly fine. That's your decision. But the door is open for honest people here. And even if they get mad and say something or whatever, the door's open for honest people here. We can always resolve our issues, I think. From my side, this is how I feel. And I'm going to promise you something, and you can say that I'm being cocky or whatever you want, but I'm back. I haven't been back for a while. I was gone. I was just chilling, playing video games, relaxing and chilling for about a year. And I'm back. And I don't think that the streams we've been doing are big at all. I think what you're going to see from our community, from us, and from the people around us are giant streams, viral videos, change to our platform. And when that platform changes, it will be so that the platform is that people, the content creators, will not be able to dox and gatekeep and attack people and lie without being banned. And what that does, it makes our community and the YouTubers that are left here be judged by the content they produce and how good they are at doing it. The creators that do good are going to grow. Creators that provide content are going to get bigger. So I really think it's in everyone's hands. The only thing I want to do is help. I think I can do it myself. I think I can help all of us get YouTube, or at least our communities in YouTube, back to a fair community where the audience makes up their mind about who does well and who doesn't based on whether people put out good content. And once that balance is restored, it is fate for our community to grow. It's fate for our community to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm just saying, you're welcome to come along for the ride or jump out whenever you want. And if you jump out, I wish you nothing but good luck and, you know, support, regardless if you're mad at me or not. I do have a girlfriend. I'm not a controlling boyfriend. Her name is UNIRACHEL. So some people do confuse her posts with mine. And I'll just tell you something that happened a long time ago. We, about 6 months into my channel blowing up back in 2016, 2017, we were probably making above $5,000 a month just off ad revenue alone. Because YouTube was a lot different then. Ads paid a lot more back then. And we got hit with some false strikes, and it caused our channel to have to wait on YouTube to come in and take the strikes away because they were false, which they did. But it ended up taking them like 2.5 months. It was a lot. You had to wait a lot longer back then. We ended up probably losing $20,000 or $30,000 in our family's revenue that we earned, that we actually worked for years to be able to earn, over the fact that our viral videos were taken down by people that were false striking and doing things like that to us. And so she's very sensitive when it comes to the topic of false striking. I don't control what she says. I'm not going to tell her what to say or tell her what not to say. It's not my place. I will criticize her if I think she needs it when she says something, and I'll agree with her if I agree with what she says when she says it. But I'm not going to control her or make her do anything. And whether or not you want to judge me based on what she says, that's up to you. Okay? I'm my own person. She's her own person. And I think our relationship is good because we make sure not to control each other. That's all I can say. So if you're down for the ride, jump on in and let's blast this community up to where every creator in our community has 100,000 subs. Let's do it. If you want to support me, we are now streaming on Kick at kick.com/UNIRock. You can follow us over there. We are on YouTube at rockAlot YouTube channel. This is our live channel for extra content and live streams. Our main channel is UNIRock2 on YouTube. If you're part of my gamer crew, please follow me on Kick at UNIRock on Kick. I'd like to game with my game peeps on Kick. And we'll also be doing extra content on Kick for a while. Hopefully Kick takes off. If it doesn't, it'll be just like DLive. We did really good on DLive. DLive ended up falling in on itself. Now we don't use it. Will we use Kick in the future? Only time will tell. I'm Outy5000G. Peace. PayPal.me/UNIRock. Money sign UNIRock on Cash App. I will see you soon.
I'll know where your aunt and uncles are from. I'll know where you're born from, lives. I'll know where your aunt and uncles are from.
I'm a stalker.
I'll know where your sister lives. I'll know where your aunt and uncle, your children.
But YouTube's still picking it up.
Like I said, I don't need to ask anybody anything about you. If I want to know something about you, I will know everything there is to need to know about you. Literally everything. I'll know where your children go to school. I'll know where your parents live. I'll know whether your grandparents are dead or alive. I'll know where your sister lives. I'll know where your aunt and uncles are from. I'll know where you're born from. I don't need to ask people about their past because I will have it in print in front of my face. So, again, I suggest you do your due diligence on me before you start running your trap. Just saying. Just saying.
Everybody, all these people, with all their investigative skills, they'll find that person. Find that person. Find that person. They'll find that person. They'll find that person. They'll find that person and get. They'll find that person. Find that person. Find that person. They'll